It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这一次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、そう味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel.
We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC.
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice.
이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
A collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group ESPA. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have ESPA visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with ESPA. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks. Isn't scheduled. You can still get your PUBG Players Tour fix with Super Cups. These work just like Masters events, where again, 16 teams, 8 from each of the 2 previous Players Cups, compete for a share of the total cash prize pool. Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. You know the game. Be a player.
SlamG isn't just a name. They're coming in hot. They're bringing the chaos, and more importantly, they top the table after day number 1. I'm Mark Power, joined by the amazing Koho. We've still got 2 days of action, 8 games left to play. Can SlamG stay on top? That'll be the big question, though, because other teams are contending.
There's a lot of contenders in this lobby. There's a lot of teams hanging around that can really hang with the best. And I think yesterday was a bit of an odd day where it felt like everybody had one big game, and not a lot of teams were able to string together 2 of them, right, in the day. So if any of those teams gets it going again today, gets to find a little bit of that consistency, they're immediately at the top.
Well, talk about consistency. Let's remind you guys, how did we get here? Because we are at the end of this circuit. You at home can join in. You just need to pick what week you attend, but you can sign up for the PUBG Player Tour Scrims. If you find yourself, well, you get a few best of threes with enough points underneath your belt, you will be able to join into the PUBG Player Cup. Now, you've got to find the top 8, and if you don't get it in week 1, you can get it in week 2. But at the end of the circuit, you either find yourself at a Master Cup, or more importantly, like this one here, you find yourself in a Super Cup where there is more money on the line to grab. You talk about consistency here, Karo. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Go Next Esports, right? They're the only team that really got there a couple of times. They were really duking it out with some of the best in the lobby, and they're an up-and-coming name, realistically.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You see them, I think, as one of the consistent teams. I think they have a good idea of where they want to rotate and how they want to approach the games. They're not a team that dominates in gunfights, right? They're not a team like a Skittles, a SlamG, that have players that would just make you go, wow, every single time. But they have the experience, they have the smarts, and they have the structure to pull off consistent placements. So I'd say they're on one end of the scale when it comes to that fighting power versus game IQ. And I think the other end of the scale in this lobby is exactly Skittles. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, Skittles really started off really, really strong, right? And I thought, that's it, we're set up now. Skittles are taking that household name. They're ready. They're going to duke it out. But it wasn't going to be the case. And actually, we go back to Go Next Esports. They're one of the teams that have actually been able to provide us with more consistency when it comes down to placement points. Now, we are on the half-price chicken because when you get first place, you only get 5 points. So kills do mean a lot more. But being able to get into a top 4 scenario, I think that's key as well, because some of these teams like 7G, who are trying to drive themselves up the leaderboard, of which had a great ending to yesterday, they still haven't been able to put any placement points on the board.
Yeah, but you say that, right? And I feel like, yes, of course, top 4s are good, but the frags are really, really what matters, because you get yourself in a top 4, a lot of the times you'll have gotten some kills along the way, and that's why those top 4 games look good. But realistically, 2 placement points from a 3rd place, they don't make a significant impact. What makes a big difference is, well, wiping one team, getting one squad wipe, Hakamari pulling up and getting an impossible 1v2 against Hive. That's an immediate 2 points right there, you know? I think in this point format, at the current time, top 4s are a way to get towards kills, but they're not what you're aiming for in the first place.
Yeah, I know. I can't argue. I can't argue. And it does bring that kind of chaos that we see from the drop, should we say. A lot of teams going for early fights, a lot of teams getting caught on the rotations. But then we've got the recall system as well. And we had an experience, I'm going to say yesterday, especially on our game number 4, because you did highlight it really well with Win or Die. They brought bodies back, 3 in total, actually. But on the other side of the coin, they're potentially just giving up 3 more points to other teams. So they're a team which is in 7th. We'll look at the leaderboard in a bit here. But do you think they'd be looking back actually in that last game yesterday and going, do you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have gone for the recall system. Maybe we should have continued to fight with Jedrox.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't think that was arguable. I think that was very clear that wasn't the play in that moment. I say it was very clear. It's very clear after the fact, right? It's very easy to say that after the fact when you know what happened. It's not as easy to know that beforehand. But yeah, I think everybody's still learning. Everybody's still learning. You never stop learning in PUBG in general, but when sweeping changes like the recent patch and the TPP format come in, then you need some time to iron everything out, and that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment. That's why it's so nice to play a Super Cup as well, Mark. It's just added practice. It's 12 games in a strong lobby. You love to have that as any PUBG team.
Yeah, and this is definitely worth a mention as well. This is a best of 12, so we do 4 every single day. We play one map once, and that is done. So 8 games are left compared to the Masters, where actually we go back to a best of 6, and obviously the prize pool is a lot more. So getting the additional practice in here is going to be key. And sometimes some C4s and all of the additional extras, it just comes down to a DPS at the end that might just shake the foundations of a wrangle why Go Next Esports has opted not to take the fight.
I don't know what happened there with Fine. I think he'll be looking back at that and reconsidering his options for the next time. I think maybe he didn't want to wait it out that long. Maybe he just got stuck on the railings as he wanted to come down from them. But yeah, there's that leaderboard we talked about, and there is 4 teams on the top that are looking super, super solid. 4 teams at the top with almost around that 30-point mark, and then it sort of slowly trickles on down to all those 17-point teams, 16, 13. It's still super, super close. We have a leading pack, sure, but they're in 1 game reach with almost everybody else.
This is the big thing about this, right? Kills are going to be real king now on day number 2 for me, especially when we look from a 6 down to sort of that. I'm going to include 100 ADR in 16. 1 good game, 1 good couple of kills. That's going to be a difference. Now, if those teams find each other, that's even critical, right? Because if a win or die fan's a bad rotation denies out a win or die, that could be huge about them trying to climb that leaderboard. Yeah. Let's have a look at some of the head-to-head stats, though. SlamG versus Go Next Esports. We spoke about Go Next obviously being a lot more consistent. SlamG having some big kill games. Actually landed up on 26 kills compared to Go Next on 21. But it comes down to the placement points, though. But good average points from SlamG. And we've got to remember, Koa, I kind of feel like they missed game number 1, right? They didn't have the start that everyone else did.
Yeah, exactly. But that is, is that a handicap or is that a weakness? Did they mess that up themselves? Yes, you would have to say so, right? It's not like a team that doesn't connect to the first game and still ends up in a good placement. But again, they've had 1 banger, and that 1 banger was enough to keep them at the top with a little bit of consistency along the way. Plane is in the air, Miramar is on the cards, and we are starting into an evening of 4 games of brilliant TPP action.
Let's see if Skittles can do or reenact what they done yesterday, though. South to north, it does favour this east side of the map. So if we get that kind of Impala, we don't have a foot esports here. 7G have stepped in due to travel commitments, etc. So interesting to see how teams rotate on this one. We had a lot of water to play, but it is another opportunity. As you say, 4 games are left. Plane, give or take, is done. Everyone is now out, and there's that Christmas tree effect that we love to see. It's pretty much everyone is finding space. No hot drops just yet. It'll be the rotations we need to watch out for.
Got my eyes on Los Leones, but that is looking peaceful for the time being. Always a bit of a sussy loot drop with 2 teams involved, but it's sort of the Yasnaya of Miramar. You can share it. Just gets a bit awkward with the vehicles, with the exits. But the zone has gone firmly towards Power Grid. Good for the beer fellas. It's good for Hive. And I think there's a lot of teams here that have to make decisions very quickly. If I'm looking at a bad rotation, for example, Mark, if they don't react quickly, they might have people knocking on their doorstep very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be about rotation for them. They don't want to get bottlenecked, do they? Especially because they've got limited access points because of that hillside playing towards that kind of beer fellas and Hive as well. They could sit tight, maybe hope for an east rotation. But they're going to have to tighten up. Teams are going to be looking for space, especially as they're rotating from that east. Let's quickly talk about Hive, actually. Hive, again, had a bad start yesterday, but they are sitting themselves now in big kill games for them. I think that's what's been critical. And as you mentioned, it does feel like that is the key to success here. Hive, though, a team would expect continuing that momentum, especially on day 2, and will be sort of driving to try and take on a SlamG and Go Next Esports, right?
For sure. For sure. I mean, one of the biggest names in the lobby. Winner of the last Masters. That doesn't come from nothing.
Nope.
And you would expect them to keep up that performance. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. They're still hoping for waifu, but they're also moving out of Picado. 2-man, 2G split into the compound just off to the north. And you're looking at the map, it's exactly what we talked about. Teams are knocking on the door of some of these high priority compounds. Layers would love to look at that compound. He's going to very quickly realize that it is taken. And we're getting the second vehicle-friendly fire of the tournament. Kazoo just took a bit of an example from Fairy Tail yesterday. Jumps out of his vehicle. He's got to get rezzed.
Worries me. It worries me that 7G might be reenacting what happened yesterday in a very slow start, explosive ending. Because they did well holding out the outside edge of the zone. Laos does find winner chicken dinner, so back into the bus, going to use the cover where he can and move further back. Fante on the other hand finds another team. Hive leaving that San Martin area, taking towards the hillside. So Rodai might be opting to sort of go back the way they come. Didrock's going back towards that Hacienda area. A bit of a split from these guys also, but to be expected, especially with the style of zone. It has a few options of, you could play back towards the south, could go north or east. West has the opportunity, but they don't want to be challenging that high ground just yet.
Not yet. They gotta worry a bit though. But where to keep their cars. Loy gets a knock, but oh, he almost gets dropped in the process. But no cigar though. Stays alive with 12 HP. The rest of skills can move on. The rest of skills can pressure this. And Lucic, where do you even go at this point? He's gonna get hunted down, and I don't know if his team has enough support for him here, Mark.
I know, yes, always in the third party, isn't he?
Yeah.
There he goes. He had to pick up 180 yards a second. Now the car does sort of work its way into safety. Lloyd takes a huge shot though, as he does find the cover eventually. He's got to take the time now to med. 180 yard. Now under pressure. Hadouken gets that confirmation. I'd argue to say also, there's that free roaming car. The second confirmation should be coming through now. Lloyd does med. And he finds the seconds. 180 yard down to 2. Doesn't mean anything here. There is a recall system, but they have to at least put a stop to the Skittles attack.
Classic Skittles. They spot a weakness. They fly in on it. Lock now. They took the opening knock. Hero has been spotted. Bad rotation. Want to benefit from this. They want to go in as fast as they can. Quintex, he's going to whip out the Panda Faust. Going to spot Kydal in the open. Going to take his time. He wants to get a secured knock. He doesn't want to take any risky fight here, but time will be running out, as there's more and more backup coming in. Salik is here for him as well, though.
Yeah, Salik's got a little bit of higher ground, right? He's working his way down, but now he finds himself in the compound. You can see the rest of the lock now moving in. Mad Negative might try and take, again, a heavy crash. Salik gets an opening knock. That could be huge. Now, he does see the players. He does see that fence line. I think you're right. I think he's waiting for that key moment that he knows he can guarantee that kind of knock, because at the moment, it's a bit of a 50-50.
Now with that nade coming in, they might get the second knock. This is right. He's going to get knocked low. He's going to get knocked down. And just like that, the res immediately punished. And what was looking like a good situation for bad rotation has just turned into an absolute disaster. Now third-party shots coming in. Sayuwu no time to do anything. And the Panzerfaust, it ain't even needed. Because the fourth player is not here. We talked about red rotation. We said they had to get ready for neighbors on their doorstep. They looked ready, but they just get blown to pieces.
I always worry about that neck of the woods, right? Boostic does find the final one. Mindset goes down. A lot of teams will rotate in and around that kind of Minas area. Then we see Graveyard, the hillside that looks onto it as well. Really key critical areas, especially if you're not ready to make a full pathing into the late game or the mid game. So sort of a stopgap. And if you're split, you get caught. They made an aggressive rotation in towards lock. They did pick up a kill, but unable to confirm, unable to keep applying that pressure. BFLers, though, find Fairy Tail, a team we spoke about at the end of yesterday, which we expected to be a lot higher up in their leaderboard, but just haven't been able to get things going. Now with a knock, they're down numbers already, but back to the Skittles fight as they have pushed onto 180R.
And again, they are being put in between two teams here. Again, it's Dope stepping them in the back, but Skinning up to his feet. And Hadouken keeps himself busy, keeps himself alive. Hakimari knows exactly where Mubuki is, but he can't go for the push just yet. This awkward split fight is not really progressing all that much just yet, Mark.
Nah, Hakimari's doing the right thing, right? He hasn't got any heavy util, so he can't make an explosive entry. He can just sit, wait, watch, get over the information. Hadouken on the other side taking the fights as he goes for a little jump shot. Doesn't quite get the connection that's needed. He's looking to try and get that confirmation. But Shock's on the other side. He's keeping him at bay. Needs to be cautious, though. Down to one shot, and here comes the push. The nade comes in, and Hadouken, well, he's going to fall.
It was very projected. You knew that was coming the second they had a nade. If they ever had a nade ready, they would have gotten it into that window, and Hadouken stays were very numbered. On the other side, they have made progress, though. They have finally brought this down to a 1v3 in the compound. And Hicks is on the reposition. Hakimari doesn't hear him, but he spots him there. Just at the last second. They should now be able to, once they heal up, get the smokes out to cross and hopefully close out the compound fight.
See if they can close it out. You need to just be careful as well. Make sure they get it clear before kind of without dope. Continue that pressure, right? So Dukin's down. Just see if they go get the chips, and if that chip hasn't been burnt, might be able to get back to a 4. Still got a minute left before we see phase number 2. Skittles now going for the stack up. I know they're waiting for him to pop out that window, so they know that. He does go for the cross, though. Does get caught. Great hold there onto the window, waiting for the peak. Allowed the 2 to make the push over and actually caught the transition going to the door. Great spray, great transition, and Skittles able to clear the compound in the end.
Classic Skittles fashion. The aggression. Absolute no consideration about the risks they might be taking. Just flying the heck in and winning it out. Yes, they lose numbers here. They get 3 up, and there's a few respawn towers available to them later on. If Without Dope ever decides to leave, it doesn't blow up the chips before they do. I've meanwhile involved a bit with 7G. But Dante has to lay low. He's the only one here. He's gotten his, but he's got to just bide his time because he needs to be scouting Hemlock. He needs to be looking at everything that is interesting for his team and use that high ground.
He's now trying to find an area which the team can move to, so he doesn't need to move where he is. He's okay, he's in zone, but he does have that verticality, as we say, that can now scout. He's going to keep an eye on 7G. Has grown, does leave the compound, does leave the safety. They're going to go for a wider rotation, but it looks like eyes are set, though, on the motel in Baccardo. Zone shift, though, down towards the southeast. Los Leones is in. A lot more teams up in the northwest, so that means we're going to see a few more transitioning issues. Unless some of these teams have got emergency pickups, they could be key now. It might be worth, especially because I know you're good at the timing, waiting for this zone to come in and trying to get airborne as we see the phase 3 pop.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Generally, it's more worth on Miramar because you can predict more zones, but there's not a ton of land ratio left here, so phase 3 isn't going to tell you exactly where phase 4 is going to go. So it's not as easy to time these. However, I'm looking at that map stream. Exclamation mark map if you want to do the same. Seeing an interesting EP from Quintex coming out. I think he's gotten the res on many of his teammates. He's gone way out of the blue. I say many. I think the only one did, but he's gone way out of the blue. He's gone into Impala from that center compound they were in to get the res, and now he's going to EP back in.
His Rico is going to get back towards that compound before they do, but they find that little compound south of Graveyard, so I expect him to jump. There he goes. He's going to work his way towards the team. This is different, though, because he's going to be able to get some loot. He's going to be able to get reset and get back in towards the fight here. Without Dope, waiting for 7G on the rotation. But I was going to say, there's more than one card to shoot at here. Skinham does pick him down. He does go down. That's right. Takes on the fight. Good thing for Without Dope is they're able to get the res pretty quickly, and 7G will be questioning whether they should maybe make their push towards that, but they don't. They continue down the road. They continue pushing towards Los Leones.
Gonna get met by a lot of Fairy Tail members here. The rest of Fairy Tail is just ahead of them on the road. They could set up a camp here easily, and I wonder if they might have no good reason not to. If Go Next hits a left here, Fairy Tail can set up whatever they want and wherever they want, and honestly, reasonably get a few kills here. So, gonna be interesting to see what they decide to go for, what kind of plan they have. Because it's a very possible camp to me.
April, I think, is critical, right? If April deviates or goes a different way, it gives Go Next opportunities to kind of turn in early, maybe work towards Picardo. If April stays in position, it does sort of stop them at the moment going back. But with April now joining the road, that gives them the opportunity now to cut back. So Fairy Tale, yeah, I think you're right. They've missed the opportunity to get themselves on a kind of a car camp, but they have pulled up. Right side does find one of the beer fellas. This goes down. They're on a big split as well. I think they're waiting for some rotation past them, but it doesn't quite work out for them. And back to the leaders of the lobby. Mogor gets one. Gets that confirmation for belief. I feel like Slam G are just waiting for neighbours to come down. And there we go. It's a shift again down towards the southeast. We're going back towards Los Leones. Difficult terrain. And again, more teams need to rotate in from the west.
Dope is going to group in their center compound. And Skittles should see this. And Skittles should just go and get a Dukin. Get his chip. Maybe dip into Los Leones. Maybe just wait for Picardo to move out and res there. It's a pretty possible res here. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled to see what they think about it. But I'm seeing... yeah, what almost looked like a crash from belief. But they see the group in the last second and they pull off.
No belief in that crash, mate. No belief in that crash. They continue down the road. They keep rotating towards the east. They have a prior compound. I love the compound. They've just gone past on that sort of left-hand side. I think that's key, right? I think they're interested more. That's expecting another southeast shift. So they do pull up in the Gotti building and just wait maybe for it to continue to go towards Los Leones. So big split for them. Got to be careful. But at the moment, no teams fully contesting. Beerfellas, on the other hand, though, they have lost one. Might be looking to go rotate back and get that recall chip, as they do have, again, options as Picardo now completely free. So if the time is right, they might find themselves back to a 4.
Yeah, lots of teams looking for those options, figuring out their ideas. Go Next, going for the EP, but we talked about timing earlier. They're not interested in timing it all too much. Just going to be going for it. I think they should be quite early to the zone pop, if I saw that timing right. Fairy Tale, on the other hand, not camping the team I expected them to, but getting some shots into winner and chicken dinner. But the third party stopping them short.
Third party does stop short. Fairy Tale has to get back to cover. He's on the split though as well. Go Next. Unfortunately, emergency pickup. So we'll be going straight over the top of this, but there's no only for them to collapse and try and get that chip. Be aggressive for them. The rest of Winner and Chicken Dinner do work their way. Back to Slam G on the other side. We've got a lovely divide. Auntie takes a huge amounts of damage working his way in. Everyone knows the damage and he backs away. And then on the other side without Dope, have Go Next landing. The boot's nearly on the ground. He sees him in the bowl. He's got 2 nades here. He could launch him down there. Not set, but he's got to keep the pressure on. But he falls.
Big knock, big important knock. Acalypto's surely flushed here though, and without Dope now knows, okay, this is a team that's lost members. That's just 2 guys in the dip. We can clean that up later. Slam G has found a little bit of aggression on the Cantera crater. And Boostic's got to do Boostic things here if he wants to keep his team alive.
Yeah, he's putting them on the shoulder. So, does have the region to play for. It does go towards the right, so you can use it well, but you've got to be careful. He goes up high. He's going to get caught by the Win or Die team, taking the compound away from Belief. So that 2-1 split doesn't work out for them. They do get a knock, but as an opportunity, they do collapse back down towards that split towards Los Leones. Zone has played back towards the west, so we're not going to Lost just yet. And the guys from Slam G, they lose to Zone, but they've got lots of opportunities in front of them to gain points. Coming on 4, a lot more up on the plate.
Still wild to watch Boostic sometimes. The man is so locked in. Do you see how much he's moving his camera? How much he's flicking around left, right, pulling his gun away, pulling it back out, left, right, left, right. That man has so much energy that he's putting towards the game. You only ever see that on the young guns, on the young cracked kids. He's getting a little close for comfort here though, Mark. I'm sure he has some support from the rest of the squad, but a few good shots from Conquest and he's done for.
Find his way to safety just about. Here comes the spray. And Win or Die. Jedrox does get the knock, so you've got to be cautious as well. Not much of that compound remaining. Maybe they can keep the pressure on Conquest. Maybe not an area they want to go to, but if they can damage them, the phase number 4, that's going to hurt a lot more. It's going to really make them question whether they can or can't get the reses. But Cramsey gets some good shots back as well, so it's giving them the opportunity now to get us back to the car and get rotating.
I'm still chilling. They're low ground compounds. They get a good phase 5. They're probably playing a good game, but otherwise they might have to move up a little early. Oh, that's bad for Conquest.
Yeah,
you hate to see it. They just raised him back up and then they run him over as the zone, I think, is already moving in. So that's a GG. That's a player out. As we're gonna meet again with both Win or Die and Boostic and the likes of Slam G, but they're getting the opening knock here into Win or Die, and that's actually huge because that's the position taken as well.
It is the position, which I think both these teams really fighting for. Weewu is also in a dip here. 7G early rotation towards the position. They're going to be good where they are. They're going to try and gather the kills. When one chicken dinner, getting the repair on. They've taken a lot of damage working their way. And Beerfellas in a good spot. So 7G, they get the opening knock here. When one chicken dinner does get Weewu down, so he goes around Robin. Big Nate comes in, goes, oh, nearly under the car. Provides enough cover for now. Molly to follow right on top of the vehicle as well. And Weewu, they've got to be cautious, but it's going to be explosive. And it's his own nade, though. Vlad puts himself down.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Car explodes, gets the flush as well. And just like that, Winner and Chicken Dinner now falling apart. Werzik says, 1-2, thank you. Puts him out. And the aggression is over. Weewu can get a breather in. Vlad Cookie Crumble, absolute legendary name, by the way, is going to get Rez back on his feet, and they have a fighting chance in this.
Ramsey goes down for Conquest. He was one holding the outside edge. He was one trying to hold that rotation from Win or Die. So that's going to give the opportunity for them now to collapse. So Slam G providing the pressure on towards Belief, though. Again, outside edge of zone. Belief used the smoke to get the vehicle out just at the moment. Arctic's going back around the adjacent side as Boostix, well, trying to be the spearhead of the attack, though. Trying to figure out where they are. As Belief said, moving the vehicle on 1, but left 2 sleeper agents here. But he has to move. Here comes the play. It goes right on the outside, and Arctic's just better with the drop shot.
Puts him down. Makes him question that push. Makes him reconsider if that was a good choice. Slam G now. Upper hand in this one. Numbers advantage. Never lost hope. The most proficient point denier of the player cup that they qualified from has lost all hope. Nate comes out, does a bit of damage, but it's just Sunflowy left. He's been naded as well, and I have absolutely zero doubt that Slam G is sweeping this compound. The question is, what do they do after Mark, because moving down won't be easy.
No, you can see Conquest have moved in as well, haven't they? So they're not pressing the fight. I think they're waiting for that rotation now. Great nade, though. Mogul will finish things up. And our believe it is the end. 13 teams now down to 12 here. Beerfellas launching the util. We know the Blue Zone is like a robbery. They like to bounce quite far as they do whistle past and go down the valley a bit too further out of sight, though. Got to be cautious, though. I thought April was generally running with a C4 in hand at that point, but not going to be the case. Nade's coming back over. Fairy Tale, they're trying to hold out Win or Die here.
Win or Die is struggling to make it in on this. April, he didn't drop the C4. He reconsidered. Now Levante way in the open. Completely out of cover, out of position, nothing to do. Brightside has no idea where Leosh is, though, so they are going to get cleaned up. But Win or Die, man. Mark, they're coming out of the best compound in the Circle 3. And they're now down to just a Gedrox flying around. This has been a horrific game for them.
He's going straight to that shack as well, isn't he? I feel for him. At least he gets a taste of what he delivered to his crew yesterday in game number 4. Where's it? Good player for Beerfellas. Really impressed so far on this series. He's going to be down. Beerfellas up to 6 kills, though. We're still on 9 teams. 23 alive. So a lot of teams have suffered casualties. Schengen does get the confirmation done on Werzik. So point on the board for them. And now we're waiting for the next collapse. Where does zone go? Should pretty much donuts up. Does donut. Maybe plays down towards the southeast corner. Slam G still chasing the zone. 7G able to hold out. not much more to play, really. This is going to be about these teams that haven't rotated in. Can they find a level of aggression that can take an area away from some of the teams in situ?
First calm sequence we've really had this game. SlamG have prevailed. The move down should have been hard, but apparently it was effortless for them. Mogori's on 5 again, Mark. Absolutely popping off that young lad. And I think they have a good way in here. I think if they just keep lock under control, keep them busy, make them breach the compound, they should be able to move on foot.
Move you up. Shaking the lobby at the moment. Not shaking the lobby. The M249, not just one, but two. Pedro's been careful. Fine. Backs away slightly with the orc in hand, though. Sees Hive at base. A difficult rotation over. Got to breach that road, and it's pretty much open terrain from there. So it's not just Go Next Esports. It's going to be the likes of Without Dope. If they get a bit of freedom, they can sort of play into this area. Skittles, though, for Sloy. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Gets in the car. He's going to rotate round on the west. He's going to find opportunity behind Go Next Esports. And while they've disengaged, that's going to be really favour them because Sloy could punish.
Jack's being cleared by SlamG, but single blue zone is not enough. Everything stays alive in this. And it's really interesting to me, Mark, to see so many of our top dogs failing. Win or Die not making it across the road. Hive not making it across the road. Teams that we usually see steamroll these lobbies. Getting pinned out, getting caught out of position. Makes me think that these lobbies are getting closer. Makes me think that the skill gap is vanishing a little bit. And there's Lloyd. Angles are cleared out. West side. Losing most of their solos. Finance Lloyd, the last two left.
Yeah, Locke played that well as well. Their angles are great. Obviously, they would take anything away from Zloy, but if it wasn't going to be him, Locke was going to pop up, though. It's a good play. Very, very good play. You said the lobby's getting more fair and balanced. I feel like this circuit has been that for me. Like, without the big names, we've got some big events on, so these are the guys and girls that are working their way through the series, through the scrims, finding themselves in the top lobbies and getting a top 8, so they deserve to be here. And that ceiling, that's pretty tight amongst these teams. It's going to come down to sort of little bits of play, the gun skills maybe, but we are all still learning that TPP is back. We saw yesterday some failed grenades. Be careful of those door frames. We've seen a few meme actions, shall we say.
At least nobody hopped on a bike and then blew himself up with a C4 25 meters away from the compound that they wanted to go to.
C4 select. I love it. That's the play, mate.
You hate to see it.
I spoke to him about that the next day, and he was like, he told me it was 25 seconds. I was like, he was the one driving.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That is slacking. Listen, I'm not one to call players out, but if a month in, you don't know how long it takes to explode, you are slacking off.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. We was chanting C4 select the whole time, so don't worry. Every time we came a cam, we had him. We had the crew going. But to the action away from PNC though. Back on the TPP without Dope trying to hold out. Has to take, but the jump shot from Salik does find him. Without Dope, down to the final player now. Has to dance the dance in the compound. Unfortunately for him, he's praying, hoping Locke arrives and maybe takes the fight on, but I feel like Locke have only got one objective, and that's to clear this compound out. And Without Dope, unfortunately, leaves them in 6th place.
Shotgun comes out for Jibs. It's an absolute menace, that one, but I fear for him with the angles that Exalt is holding. Cross to the circle is going to be very tricky. Bit of a fail for SlamG as well. Did they expand it so much util to clear this shack and the rocks? And they actually did not get away with anything. Repair kit comes out, one of the new additions, one of the very well received ones at that. Gets the vest back in shape, gets the helmet back in shape. Gets them ready for phase 8.
Great use though. From Gwynix getting onto that car, being able to look over the shack, gets all the information. Gonna expel some of their util now, so there's a double flash, they see a double more. Boostic trying to tempt him in as he's playing peekaboo over the ridge line. So, well, it's in. We are 6 teams though, but we're in phase number 8 here, Ko. Remember, a top 4, that's when the placement points will happen. So, points on the line. I think it's going to be very explosive. You asked for a calm before the storm. It's been very calm for a while. But this is going to be a storm to remember here for match number 5.
I love how I criticized the E pickup of Go Next, and they just drop in the middle of phase 2. And the game literally ends on their dip. Literally could not have gone better for them. Gonna be very close to the star of phase 9 as well here. Fine. But I think the push is coming out.
Great flash. He's going to rely on the shots from behind him though, surely. Right now goes round, uses the rock to his ability, gets one, looks for the second though. Second does make his way up though, as Gwynix though leaves the safety of the shack. Coming off the back of the blue, looking for his confirmation. There's one, there's two. SlamG's now falling apart though, but he's got him on the other edge of the blue. He clicks dry, but he clicks the final shot. Oh my god, SlamG thought they were safe, but they fall.
Oh, he just got destroyed through the smoke. Well played. Absolutely outplayed. Locke is not doing the kill feed right. They don't realize that nobody's here anymore. They're going to spend a bit of time clearing this edge that doesn't have anyone left on it. But they've just been given the game by Grinix.
Wow. 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 The flashes were great from 7G, right? It was good hold from them. SlamG obviously had to force their way through, but they had the option. They could have gone the other way. They didn't have to take the fight on, but they went full charge. Lock, though, 8 kills, 2 more points potentially on the board for them, but they've got the placements, though. And does find one, gets the confirmation, says a quick kill confirmed. Gonex will fall in 3rd place. Skittles, though, this is Lloyd. We know he can back up punch. He gets one. It's a 2 versus 1. He ducks his way down. Mad negative. He has to take cover as well. They've got the split. They get the spray through, but Sloy survives.
Oh, but now the flash is there. The crossfire is there. It shouldn't be doable. He's 1 HP. Quintex. Can you run him down? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to step into the open here. It's an awkward position for him. He's either got to expose himself or let the man heal up. And Sloy is now at 4 HP. Quintex, he's got nowhere to go. He's doubting himself. He's panicking.
He doesn't know. He just doesn't know. He's unsure. The molly does come out. It does go to a good location, but he does able to sort of back away. Now, Quinix has got the rock. He's able to get the ability to peek. Both these players have to get the move, but Sloy's got the util dump, though, in front. 4 more smokes, man. The rock should give Quinix Ko a little bit of advantage because he's going to be able to play peekaboo above. Sloy has to use the train to his advantage.
Wants to dip back down, wants to get below the smoke cover here to get closer to the center, and he does. And now he has the terrain. Now he has the positional advantage. Looking over to his left. But he's got the star now, Mark. He's in a hugely advantageous position at the moment. From what should have been just unlosable.
Yeah. They should have continued the pressure. Now he sees the move.
Oh, GG.
Phoenix doesn't know, and it is a clean GG's. Winner with a chicken dinner. Skittles, they shake the bag, find the victory, though. A 14-point game, but 13 kills. They're going to go in the way of SlamG. That game should have been a shoo-in for Lock. SlamG gave up the train, they gave up the opportunity, and Lock were unable to lock it down, and Skittles took full advantage.
Yeah. Oh, that should have been a lock. Easy as that. I mean, SlamG were looking really good for it as well. Until Grinix with the blue play makes it everything work. And I mean, we see it there, right? Pushing in 3rd person is just so much harder than 1st person. The flashes are there, but the play around the rock works beautifully. And then Grinix goes for the punish, but that should have not been a conversation we're having. That should have not been a chance for Skittles to win this one.
Insane. insane. Again, it was just that applied pressure. Maybe the comms weren't there, maybe not quite sure, but this was special for me. Grinix, though, launches forward off the shack. Now goes round. Now he's on the other side. Now, at this point, for me, he's just looking for those additional kills. He clicks dry, gets the reload, sees the body, and sprays through the smoke. What a change. But then it comes down to Skittles, and Zloy used the terrain to his advantage. He popped the smoke. Yes, he did kind of get him see him moving. But when he lost the player, Grinix had no idea, and they didn't lock in, and Skittles get the first victory.
Just Skittles again, man. Just fighting works for them, right? Fighting early, fighting late, it all worked out for them, and Sloy is able to pick that up. A lot of frags. I mean, 9 for Lock as well is pretty solid. 13, I think, for Slam G. So again, top heavy when you look at the frags. But I'm thinking Slam G is running away with it on the leaderboard, Mark.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have a look at the leaderboard when we come back, though. Game number 1 is done. When we come back, though, it's kind of those wildcard maps. We'll see you in a few.
Collaboration with Espa, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group Espa. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have Espa visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map, for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with Espa. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
The love between Miramar and the Skittles is still undivided. Able to claim the victory, though, under uncircumstances odds, though, which is really strong for them to convert out. Sloy played it well, used the train to his advantage, but Lock, as I said before, just didn't lock it in. I still think they'd be questioning whether they should have potentially had that shoe in. They should have bet that level of aggression, because he shouldn't have had an opportunity to get away from that one shot.
I mean, it's just as soon as you see a 3v1 that gets broken down into 3 1v1s, you know things are going poorly. You know something went wrong. Sometimes, you know, there's a lot of exterior circumstances that make that fight harder than it should be. But those were not a thing here. This was isolated 3v1, and they honestly couldn't convert it. They still played a good game here. They pushed themselves all the way up to 11th. But this should have been their win. And this should have been the difference maker for them. Slamgy, however, 46 now. Skittles on 42. The top dogs are starting to run away with things now.
Yeah, good to see Hive still there, but yeah, Skittles definitely. Well, I'm gonna think back yesterday. They played well Miramar, right? So is it going to be back to back? Is it just the one game done and dusted for them? Have to wait and see. They have closed the gap, so with SlamG on 46 and Skittles on 42, it's not too bad. We are starting seeing these duos pair up because even go further down, Hive versus Go Next Esports, 7-gamer with Conquest, and we're a little bit of sprinkle of Without Dope. Win or Die, going to contend against Bad Rotation. And the Beer Fellas and Lock, well, new contenders have entered, should we say. I'm still really surprised about Fairy Tale for me. Like, they're a team which arguably is one of the top in this lobby. If not, should be looking to try and close this out as a victory because they have the opportunity without the big names here, Kowo. But they're still unable to get it going. 9 points over 5 games. It's not the level we expect.
Yeah, it isn't. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not the Fairy Tale that we're used to seeing anymore. Maybe they have been starting to struggle. What I want to see is as well, can 7-Gaming keep it up? Because they've just gotten their first placement point mark. That clutch. That clutch. Taking out Arctics through the smoke while dying to the blue zone was their first ever placement point. So they're on par when it comes to frags. They're just not on par with the placements at the moment. But again, I think they play a solid game here. Just not clean enough to get into late game with a lot of people alive.
Yeah, we look at our top head-to-head stats, though. Obviously, with one winner and a chicken dinner under the belt for both. Kills not too divided. It comes down for me the average placement points, right? Or the average total points. And this screams out. Skittles had one good game, but unable to perform for the other 3. Yes, they got some points. Yes, it was okay. But compared to a SlamG, who had a bad start, but got massive points, though, for the final 3 games, there's a big divide between those average points total.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, there is these two still overall rather similar when you look at the 5 games, but very different approaches can work out, and very different approaches have worked out in different maps here. It's just a question of who can keep it up. I never put my chips on a team like Skittles because they're so unpredictable, right? And they're so unclear. How their rotations are going to go and how their macro plays are going to go. They were getting torn apart by the Beer Fellas, remember, right? They were getting ruined that game. They should have never won it. They should have never been in a position to win it. So things would look a lot different if Sloy didn't get such beneficial fights there at the end. We'd be looking at a different game. We'd be looking at a different point count for them. I think SlamG, however, looking real solid.
Well, they've been solid pretty much throughout, apart from that first game, right? This the first stumble. But it does feel like a SlamG lobby. It does feel like SlamG are working their way forward. And every other game, we kind of have a contender where they go, okay, well, let's try and fight for SlamG. But it's only one and done. So I'll be intrigued to see if we can get away with it. But with match number 6 underway, it is time to Tago. Playing path though for this one, well, it is quite shallow. We're coming in from a southwest across towards a southeast. We do favour that sort of southern side of the map. As the observer gets the opportunity to find the plane, gave himself some time, does find it. Remember, he gets 3 out of 4 every single day. But yeah, there's that playing path. So is there an option that it might go towards the north side? Yes, potentially. We might see it obviously play that way, but logic is a lot of these teams maybe looking at this as a potential south-southeast. Got lots to grab up. We've got Hosan, obviously Buxam. We're going to see an extension out towards Terminal. Terminal is always going to be the interesting one because we're going to see a lot of teams go around there. It's a centralized spot. So with Terminal in the sights, if these teams are extending that way, there's going to be a fight, though, for some of these cars here, Kowo.
Yeah, it's always the tricky part of the early game. Especially when the plane is so far south, right? Especially when you got to stretch. You're going to get close for some of these cars. Eastern side not looking super clean either. Looking super stacked around Ouyang, actually. Without Dope. Going to find themselves with just a few compounds to loot. And if they go south, they'll find Conquest. If they go north, they'll find Belief. So, not a ton of space here for many of our teams.
It's going to be that space, and that comes down to the flight path. So, Hive going above. Bad rotation. Good connection. He's running though. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2. He's clicked right. Doesn't find the connection. Goes for the other mag. I think it might be a little too late. Zone goes late. We are finding ourselves in that southeast corner. So teams like High, bad rotation where they've got to rotate their way in. Limitations on that bridge, but it does focal point back, as I said, down towards that southeast. Lots of opportunity here. Those hills that sort of divide the middle, I think they're going to be crucial, but these teams need to get loot and they need to get it quickly.
Yeah, it's the same thing as on the Miramar, right? You're looking at a lock right now, and they got one of the best compounds in the circle. They got to be fast. They got to be fast on this. One question mark for me is, where is Afrai going? Because...
somewhere.
It seems like he thinks that compound must be free.
Oh my god.
Because he's looking to go in there and loot it for himself, but you can only do that if you know the compound's going to be free. He's got to be so careful here. He's just drive scouting it. Last second pulls off. Don't think he spotted the car.
I think a shot came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if Quintex was shooting, then yes, but Quintex doesn't know. He could have just had a free kill here.
Absolute free kill. That would have been insane. He nearly went over the bike, but that aside, if he pulled up in that compound, Quintex, I'm pretty sure he popped the shot, and that was the moment he sort of turned away. When he comes back and looks back over this VOD, might be second guessing those opportunities next time. Actually going, do you know what? I might as well sit tight. I've definitely got the ability to fight here. If a guy's going full steam at me on a bike, has he got any gear? Got a question, especially this early. 2 minutes 20 into the game.
Even if he does have the gear, you still got the surprise advantage, right? So this is very, very often a free kill. You'll see different teams with different preferences there. You'll see teams who love to rat these early compounds, like Fairy Tail. You'll see teams who like to play it safe, but now find themselves on the other end of the coin. Classic win or die. Walk up, sneak in, get a kill early, and then try to pressure off of it. They now know they have a 4v3, and they'll try their best to punish.
Got a hot drop here, head of my bad, pulls right into the heart of the fight. Isolating now an individual. Sadik has to back away. Nade looking for going underarm. Does go actually overarm. Does go the right way, but Sadik's backed fully away. Pressure now from Win or Die is insane. They're refusing to take their foot off the gas, and they find another one here. Levante puts Sadik down.
Well done. Well done. The aggression is crazy. Crazy levels of it. Kedrock's got to be a little careful now. He's just sort of assuming that this is a two-man now, maybe. Walking around very open, very carelessly. I think they're reading this like no one's left, or... I'm not sure why Gedrox is so careless.
It does feel like it. They're just looting in the open. They're not looking around, are they? They're just playing some points. I think he's now seen him. Now he just pops the smoke to be careful. Maybe he's going to get the blue chip just in case, but insert new contender. Fairytale, we spoke about these on the entry point to this game. They're a team which you'd expect to be higher up, so maybe they're looking at this now. It's game number 2 here for day number 1. Maybe that's the turning point that they need to start driving kills, because the kills are going to make a difference when it comes onto leaderboard, and arguably a good couple of games, Koho, that's all they need.
Easier said than done. Like, Conf should be a matter of time until he spots Quintex, but oh, he's just got to go a few centimeters further and he would have spotted him up. We know he's there, so we see him.
They put the chip
Conf doesn't. And there's the blue chips blown up. Don't know that move just yet. You should. Every item that's in a car gets destroyed. And that includes blue chips. So, you don't want somebody to get rezzed. You can be really annoying about it. Win or Die is just not respecting any opposition here, and hello, my bad. I think he could have seen him here, and I think that's why he's driving off again.
Yeah, I think he saw the feet, and he moved in e-comp, so he didn't see it first time. Definitely saw it the second time. And my bad, definitely looking back that way. But yeah, if you want to deny the opportunity to get a recall, remember Locke got back into a second place, and they had to use a recall. They went down early to a 3 before, so Win or Die not given that opportunity. They've got to do it as a duo. Got to survive out here, and actually we've had my bad finding that. I think the rest of the guys have come back to the compound here. Mogor jumps around, robbing the car. He 360s his way into his first kill here. And he gets back in the vehicle. Not worried about getting the chip himself. He's going to worry about getting towards safety, because the rest of the teams have been found.
This game's an old one, Mark. We got cars driving circles in Buxa. We got cars driving circles north of Hosan. Everyone's just deathmatching in vehicles at the moment. Winner, chicken dinner on the bad end of it. Getting hunted down by Islam G. And finally, Gedrox gets punished. Finally. Bit of aggression comes back. Hero, he's been waiting for his turn. He's been waiting for his time to strike. Gedrox walking around alone. Same with Mogore. As Boostic, I think, has disconnected in the middle of the shenanigans here.
Boostic is chilling. He's like, I'm going to go put the kettle on, guys. You take this, I'll be back. Arctic's hold him. When I want chicken dinner. Generating angles to go further around. Boostic's now on the move. He's back in that vehicle. Michael is down. I have the opportunity to obviously go get him back. Does feel like a early fight. Again, I come back to the point that it's all about the kills, and I think the team like Will or Die looking to climb the leaderboard and looking to get these early kills out the way. The 9 teams back. It's a good play from them. They're currently are sitting in 8th place. If you have just joined and missed the leaderboard, so I have to wait and see.
Red's on top of things. As if this wasn't awkward enough. Oh, Arctics. They're not letting go of this. They got Boostic back now. They're still looking, still prodding. And again, you give these guys little finger, they'll take the whole hand. And in a very rare occasion, it's not Lurex who's dead first.
It's a rare occasion at the moment. I think someone called it out in chat the other day as well. So I was reading back. Such a strong player as well. It's shocking to see him going down early. Pulling towards the other compound. When chicken dinner though on the adjacent sides. Slam G had the opportunity to go up onto the ridge before making the play across. I have to wait and see. What does it mean towards them? Back on the other side of things, a bad rotation. They found themselves here without Dope. Without Dope getting the first knock. Okay, Dope gets a bit of a spray. They've got to rely on this util. They've got to get a big knock here.
Oh, and that's a big knock. Well placed, Nate. Under the 0, no problem. Shock's down to half, but Skinnin has a massive off angle here, so push across the road. Not going to be easy for bad rotation. Flush onto dips, however. Should be in the bag here. It's going to put them in a comfortable situation. A lot of spamming coming out. Now again, that off angle from Skinnin surely should be able to punish Kato.
I'd hope so. Seen him now, but he's in the midst of the Taiko jungle. Nade comes through. That'd be enough to be done. It is. Kato will fall. Now the off angle has been spotted. Bad rotation. We need to catch that rotation. That's causing some problems with the East.
Well done from Dope to get the reset here. Crazy that they get the res as well. Now his mindset wants to go for a res himself. Gonna put himself in harm's way. You don't connect these bolt shots, gonna have a hard time finding any impact at all.
Yeah, they've got to get the connection here. There's that confirmation done. Now look at this. Belief coming on the third party. They're also storming in from that east side as well. So, Sunflowy find the bodies. Be careful. Bad rotation. Looking to exit. Have exit stage right. Take it down towards that southwest. Without Dope. Trying to work out if there's anyone remaining. Have they got any idea now the third party has come in because they step up. They step out this way. It's going to be punishing. And Belief, well, they only need one knock. Then they can apply the pressure again.
What a turn of events. Hope just thought they got the upper hand. Now they got to pull away from things. Skinnin Might get himself caught here if he doesn't dip out in time. That nade just barely gonna miss the mark. Shots are raining in, but gonna dip out. He's gonna stay alive. Can Shox do the same though? He's getting tagged in the back already. Never lost hope connecting with the MK. But without dope is getting away. Just a scare, but I say getting away, they're getting after that rotation.
Yeah, is this an evacuation or is this hunting for some kills? I'm not quite sure at the moment. Mindset sees the first car go by. So it does back away slightly. Yes. On the other side of this though. There we go. They know that they have joined the compound with bad rotation. So they're going to have to kill count. They're going to know exactly there's only 2 remaining. So 1 down. Gets caught on that rotation path. They're going to have to continue now finding their way towards zone. Winner chicken dinner coming back this way. But I think they're coming back for that recall system. And lucky enough for them, bad rotation now rotating down to the south. They won't even get the free kill on the recall center.
Zone has gone far, far south. This compound was the middle of phase 1, if you remember. Now on the north edge of it. It's the exact reason why many teams don't care too much about the middle of phase 1. Like a SlamG, for example, who are happy to play edge when it makes sense, but you have a team just a little further edge than themselves. They have Hive coming in around them. They gotta be careful not to get crossed here.
Yeah, they be really careful. So teams getting caught in these rotations. SlamG checking both ways before crossing the road. It's just seen Hive, so maybe they are gonna apply pressure. Hive in zone, taking shots down towards themselves, so SlamG's gonna cut loose. We were getting on the recall system as well, so the body's looking to return back. Well, at least from other people, unlike Locke, who have felt the punishment of our win or die team, who's still fighting out in Buxan. Conf store there. 100 up, and they found themselves compound. They found themselves some hope. They need to get a conversion as well. As we do watch Boostic, well, this goes for a wider rotation to hospital before coming in the southeast corner.
Taking a chunk of blue damage, but manageable for now. Winner chicken dinner getting the double res. You see them flying across the map there, but again, getting reses when you don't have a spot in zone just doesn't feel good. We just caught them on the map. We caught them sailing across the middle, and they're sailing into a 4-man skills. So is that really worth the hassle? Are you just feeding points at that point? Hive at the same time. Trying to farm off Weewoo. But these are hard shots to hit.
Difficult. I think a lot of people have really started to understand the recall system from a negative point of view, if I'm honest with you. I think they're still thinking they can get bodies back up, not a we're giving kills away potentially. Especially in late game. So winner chicken dinner. Just for the initial spray onto the car. Doesn't look for the tyre pop, but they're going to rotate their way in. They're going to run into a little bit of traffic though. Lock a little bit further afield as they are centre zone. Back to the fight on the south here. Schengen does find the opening as Hype goes down.
That's the opening, and that's soon to be the close. Yep, there's the close. Weewoo have to call their own ambulance. As Hive close out their edge, get themselves the space that they want. SlamG on the scent, meanwhile, trying to go center, trying to play the forest. Trying to get themselves into position. And miraculously, I've had an eye on the map. The winner chicken dinner players have cruised into a cluster drop. So they didn't have a single item on their bodies. But now they have a bit of 3 gear and drop guns, so maybe that's enough.
Depends if they stop though, mate. They're still driving around. Maybe they're circling, waiting for it to fall, but he doesn't gear from that one. If they do get back, it's going to be explosive. Just as explosive as Lloyd Jacket's nade. Max will fall. So it ducks into cover. Remember, Skittles performed 1 game yesterday. So far today. To try and keep the bodies up alive. Zone shifter goes away from them, goes back towards the 100 ADR into the southeast corner. Sloy Has to deep, using the train to his advantage, keeping his body fully covered though. As you can see him looking over his shoulder towards Go Next Esports. On the next hard cover, but the comms will be coming through because they're exchanging huge amounts of shots there. That's coming from Hakamari. Hadouken's coming in. Sloy, well, it's the reinforcements. There's a bit of time left on the clock before he gets here.
More recalls coming in at the same time. And shocks the Reza for Dope. Actually dying outside of play zone. Kisses White gonna land in Boksan. With Win or Die. He's got 0 items to his name. Gonna pick up a gun here. He's gonna try and sit in a corner with it. How well is that gonna work? I'm not sure. I don't fancy his chances of making it out alive. I don't fancy his chances of getting a single point for his team here. I thought the same about the winner chicken dinner is, and they're still kicking, so who knows?
Nope, you're right. Hell of my bad, Fandy. Slam G. Can drive the way forward though. Pops and Hade. Gets the car. But he does now work his way back around the hill, doing the same again. Same rotation, same move, and they causes some massive damage here from Brightside. He's down to 1. Look for that confirmation, trying to draw out Brightside as he does get the med back on the moment. Here come the reinforcements. The refire comes from that left-hand side, but it's overwhelming though. Artix goes, but so does Lurex. Boostix, the final player now for the team.
Gotta do it all. 1v2. Got the angle. Dodge the nade. As the flush comes on through. Resets with the smoke. Gets a good angle for himself. A good reposition from Boostic. But he's got to step so far into the open to take this fight. I don't think he will. And there's the out position. Well done, Brightside. Any piece of util would clear him out right now. And there's the nade. Well done, Fairy Tail.
Yeah, good hold from them. Under pressure as well. They kind of reset. They got the ability to get it confirmed out. Go Next will fall as well. Teams at the top falling slightly early. I'm making a move in, but he's already in zone. Now they've got to try and deter Winner Die with that P90 running their way. Great shots though. Gets one. Knows he's in the open terrain. Has to jump back for cover as well. But Levante punishes him with that P90.
Levante with the P90 might be just the single scariest thing in this game. Maybe a Lynx is worse, but P90 is pretty bad in his hands. Without Dope coming in from the blue behind, 3 first aids for Skenin. He's going to be able to bide his time here. Maybe even loot another body. And stay deeper. As his teammate made his presence known, goes down to play zone, but he keeps Fairy Tail busy. So many players in that blue edge here.
Just going to sneak in. He had a couple of men to remaining as well, so expect him to work his way in. I feel though if Levante swings to his left just to turn to do a 180 to take on the Fairy Tail fight, he might spot him, but for now it's not the case. Eyes locked in between them and Belief. He does fall. Fortunately for him, unable to cause damage from the King of the Blue like Beamy.
Still in the blue, gotta step his way in. Winner Die still stuck here. Love to make a move. They will have to make a move. They go towards Fairy Tail. I doubt it. I think they're gonna try and send it past. They're gonna send it through the middle and see where they can live.
Lock already here, taking apart the shack. Avoid that. Using the train to divergent again, so they keep the denial shots coming in from the likes of Fairy Tail, from the likes of Belief. How much information have they got here? They're going to know the train. They have found themselves safety in a rock. A little bit of a jump scout here for Levante. Let's find the car lurking a little bit towards his south. Just hasn't seen the player just yet.
Grenade comes out from Quintex. Belief is just cruising on by though. Flyer from the back should maybe find his mark. Sunflower does actually get caught though, so Belief is starting to believe players here. Not executing cleanly. Now they're going into the blender here. This could be an easy lineup.
Oh my god, he should have continued sticking the shots, but he didn't. The Panzer was the problem. He knew he couldn't take the fire. He had to try and back away, but they consolidated in. Locked down to the final player. Beerfeller's taking advantage now. There comes the flash as he closes the gap here. Nade surely going to finish off. Put him down to the one. The spray will go through. That's going to be enough to get it confirmed. Beerfeller's, well, deny lockout. 9th place for them, but they've taken a massive chunk of open terrain. That was an interesting play. Play on top of the car, going for a C4 charge. Not seen that one yet. But I know where this is going. This is going straight towards Belief. It's going to find him as well. Get out there. Too little, too late. It's no C4 select. It's going to be a Levante. Perfect time C4 and Belief. Well, they fall in 8th.
That was rough. That was really close, but that was basically perfection from Levante. I was getting a little scared there when the timer started speeding up. I was like, "Oh, this is getting a little close for comfort," but perfect execution. And literally 0 counterplay there. What do you want him to do? Gotta run out of the shack faster than the car is rolling at him. There's no way. There's no way he can get out of there, so I guess I found my answer. Levante with a C4 is scarier than Levante with a P90. But they are chilling now. The southern side, Mark. Quite the opposite.
It's a graveyard of cars. It seemed to be a graveyard of bodies now. Hive and ADR are here. ADR with only 1 kill so far. As I said, they do seem to find really good placement, especially from early to mid game. But unable to confirm mid to late game, especially when it comes down to kills as well. Hicks is just waiting for that body just to peek up and over. But if they peek out and they make a wide step, they'll be fully exposed. Won't be too surprised. I know exactly where he is. Here comes the nades. Airburst is good. It's just a bit too short when it comes down to try and dig him off the roof.
Time's ticking now. Slowly ticking away. Wanna get moving. Rocks with an ambitious vertical nade. Rest of ADR's moving in, and they got the better entry on the zone here. Hive's pretty much got to go for a send, and I think they're realizing that now as well. They can't stick around to fight this. They got to make a move, and Dante is going to make that move. He doesn't know about Opium Set Kit, though, so he's going to pull up to the rock and probably just get himself naded.
Yeah, Sakid will be in a good spot. This car now rotating back. And the option now is to take the fight, as they did try to rotate away. Congress also on the other side here. It's going to cause them some problems. Hicks does get presented. First knock though opened up. They come across the roof though. Goes for the repeat. But he's going to be doing the damage, but it's not. Schengen will put him down. Helmet will fall. 100 ADR. Well, it's an explosive start, but it looks like it's an explosive ending for them. Presenti will fall to zone. Rocks. He's got Panzer in his back pocket. Got to get themselves out of this cover though, because Conquest are closing the door.
Panzerfaust is going to have to do it. Where do you even put it at this point? This was the good old super format. You just be healing in the blue, getting yourself another placement or two. You'd be happy with it. Not even in the placements yet. Now Dante flushed out. ADR down to 1 as well. Look at Winner Chicken Dinner walking up. Abyss World wants to take out Cramsey on the other side.
Let's take him on. He plays people outside the smoke though. Cramsey puts him down. Enter into the placement points now. Conquest have got the numbers. 4. 1 has been knocked. We're on a dice still with 3. 100 ADR down to a 2, but 1 knocked. And Hive, well, final player, Rock, eager to launch that Panzer where he can. He launches. He's out of meds. He's out of opportunities, and soon out of time.
Just like that. I think we had 6 teams in phase 7 on Miramar. Now we've got 2. Bit of a more open terrain, one might say. But also just everybody going for the fights when they can. Conquest going for a third party. Hello My Bad picks up a Lynx. And if I'm a Conquest fan, I'm shaking right now, Mark.
Painful. This is painful. They've got the numbers, but that is going to hurt. Sound that level 3 vest keeps them alive. The 4 versus 3. As I hold the angles, hold the zone. My bad does get that links. Ramsey gets a shot back. Not going to be enough, really. They're just about outside the zone, but the distance between where they are and getting up to their hill, that's painful.
He comes in. There's the first one getting caught, though, and despite superior weaponry, Conquest is staying in it. I say that. Ramsey's got nowhere to go. Levante puts him down, waits him out. Flush confirmed as well. There might even be a res on the cards here, Mark.
He just spotted the Hermes. He did, yeah. He has seen him. And take pops a couple of shots up. Now he's got one more smoke. There it goes. Looking to try and maybe extend, get that res where he can. He's just, again, using the angle to his advantage. So, doesn't need to expose his body. He's not sitting in FPP. He's very firmly in that kind of TPP mode. So he's able to see that body out in the open terrain. I feel like they'd be questioning this one, whether they can close this one out. As a 2, Levante gets 1. Scrap that. It's a 2 versus 1. Win or die. Looking to close this one out. Big kills. Hopefully, a big victory.
This is more of what I expect from Win or Die. This is why I said earlier, it's weird to see them fall short. They're usually just proving dominance, right? They're usually just proving that they are better than everybody else. And the only teams that really meet each other at the top are, well, if a Hive is fighting a Win or Die, look at the nade barrage. That third one's beautiful as well. Might not make it around the rock, but it does. Levante with a double-digit game for himself, I think. I think he's up to 10 there. And that's exactly the Win or Die that we expect to see.
Well, Win or Die came into this round with 19 points and now close it out with 21, doubling over their points tally. That'll be skyrocketing them again in that leaderboard. But a good game. A good game. Match number 6, though, doesn't disappoint. It felt like Win or Die were the ones that started when it came down to Buxan, the level of aggression, denying the opportunity for Lock to get those chip backs. And it was Win or Die who closed it out. Lynx and a victory.
Yeah. Honestly, a really weird start to our game. I don't know what happened in that Buxan Sa area. I don't know why Win or Die was so sure there was only 2 players there. They were so sure they read this and it was a 2-2 split. It does cost them Gedrox, but they are able to consolidate, come back into it, and succeed. I don't think I want to go back on the respawns a little bit, Mark. I think a lot of the late respawns we saw pretty much went down as we expected them to and really didn't get the teams anything. So there's maybe one of the winner chicken dinner players got 1 placement point. But everybody else just fed points over to other teams.
Do you feel like, let's talk about this then. Do you feel like there's a meta where we're going to start looking at, no way, is that, oh wow, nearly a free roaming car. Do you feel like it's kind of a phase 1 to phase 3 thing, maybe? You get the recall, but maybe from a phase 4 onwards, actually, you've got to start questioning whether it's worth it, whether you've got the opportunity to land and get loot, or are you just feeding points to another team? I
like to break it down to really simple things, right? Because the PUBG is a super complex game. Every situation is going to be different. But my take on it right now would probably be, if you don't have a spot in the zone, don't revive anyone. Because you're going to be driving into zone where you don't know even if you have any spot at all, and you have teammates that are flying through the air, absolutely defenseless, with no spot to go either. So especially these double reses where you end up potentially giving 2 points away, they don't really feel like they're worth it to me at the moment. Maybe 1 for a scout or something is possible, but I feel like we see way too much of just 2 parachutes flying across the map with nowhere to go and just ending up getting farmed.
Well, if you haven't got a spot into zone, don't worry. We've got a spot, though, waiting for you for game number 3. We're going to have a quick break, though. Time to Rondo. See you guys in a few.
It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、そう味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Y estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel. We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC。
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice.
이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
2 games down, 2 more opportunities. Those win or die do claim not just the start of the fights, but the end of that round number 2. Does mean they're going to be doubling up their points as they did come in fighting from 8th spot. Doubling up actually what they achieved up into that point. They now land into 4th, entering to the 40-point realm. As SlamG 1 point away about leaving.
Yeah, they have bombarded themselves up the standings here. Put themselves in the conversation. Still, Mark, this is a pretty even leaderboard. When we're considering that we only played 6 games so far, this is 100%. Pretty evenly spread out. So many teams close to that 20-point mark, a lot of teams close to the 40-point mark. Not a lot of huge gaps in between our teams here. So, gonna head into Rondo next. We're gonna see what the Observer has in store for us. And
he's going big. Get out your condo. It's time to Rondo. And he finds it. Score. Match number 7. It's west up towards the northeast. And the Observer is cooking.
Cooking. Not cooked. Cooking this time.
One more game, Cole. We'll get him on the next one. Don't worry. He's got one more opportunity.
Good stuff. Well done. We have 2 more games for the night. Halfway point of the tournament has been reached. 6 out of 12 games in the bag. And the top is looking solid. Although not infallible. Everybody's had their drops. Everybody's had their weak spots so far. Nobody running away with things.
Yeah, as you come back to your leaderboard, let's talk about that as we wait for the split test track and Inox Factory. It feels like there's like 3 kind of battles. We see this kind of 40s point split fighting out at the top now as Monodai have just entered their way in. Then you've got like the Go Next, Conquest, 7 Gaming in that sort of 30 to 20 points all the way down to 100 ADR. So they're able to sort of fight their way in towards the top. So I do like it. One good game can turn things around. And sometimes on a one good game, you've got to rely on some big hitters. And here's our player stats though. Savante, well, leading the charge, but he's also joined with Mogor on a huge amount of kills. Sloy actually with 19. It's not too bad. Actually, I was quite surprised actually, Sloy. I know he's been up there. I didn't think he was up there that much. 19 kills. That's impressive.
He's been just, you see a bit of a different story there, right? You see different teams with different stories, and SlamG is more split up. While teams like Skittles and Win or Die are more focused on that one star player. Sloy hasn't always been the star player, but I think today especially he has. And when you're only playing 6 games, single game, single day can make a lot of difference. Sometimes a pole on the side of the road can make a big difference.
These pesky lampposts, never helpful. I believe going to rotate further afield as they do go into that southeast corner of the map. And as you can see, obviously the zone is quite late. I do worry about these styles of zones on this map because with the water on that east, especially in east rotation again, you see some teams kind of wait it out, and there's a few choke points that a team like 7G, you know, they're not good for placements, but they are good for kills. They can get these opportunities where they can kind of conquest the teams rotating down, or on the flip side, punish teams that are very, very split. North of them got Lock. We know they've been punished last game, but be careful. See how much they loot and where they want to consolidate their game plan into.
Yeah. There is teams that literally prefer to not get phase 1 because it's so tricky to be playing when you're inside those private positions early. ADR is going to get a taste of that now. They haven't consolidated on Hickses yet. Fairy Tail coming in with full numbers. Pulling up close, and just like that, tricky question here for ADR. Do they pull back? Do they try and support? Even if they support, it's still a 4v2. It's not easy to be in their situation right now.
But this is really interesting for me because we see 100 ADR are normally that team go. They're normally that Fairy Tail. He even refused to pop a parachute. Maybe he's a bit too close to the building. But it's normally 100 ADR that do what Fairy Tail have just done. They roll in on that Twisted Minds, that sort of Na'Vi positioning. They want to be the team that takes the fair party. So they're going to be used to this one, but they're on the other foot. So let's see if they can deal with it. Sakid cruises in. They know they're safe coming into this corner here. Fairy Tail will just be trying to figure out what building they want to clear at a time, but they'll be very clear that they might have one, maybe two. Do they know they've got more than 200 Panzer waiting for them?
I don't know how aware they are either, but the Panzer misses. The Buki though, unknown player finds one. Trades are there. Trades are coming out. Trying to get a bit messy. They have got the upper hand for now. Opium Sadkid. Not a lot of HP left, but
Nade
should be able to get it off.
Oh!
Nade and the molly. Doing a whole bunch of damage, and just like that, it's turning on its head.
Look at the fourth buy. Skills now just arriving as well. Hakamari does find the first 100 ADR. Now there's new contenders though. Win or die getting involved, and they find Lock yet again. Kills coming in the favour of Skittles. But be careful. Win or die instead on the other side of the zone. They are getting aggressive, and Lock punished again, being split on their way to collapse down. And Win or Die seems to be the one team that keeps finding their weakness, but that could have been close. But Levante clears. He picks up 3. Hello My Bad picks up the final one, and we go back though towards test track with the third party action.
Almost starting to feel personal there with Win or Die and Lock. Getting hunted down the second game in a row. Ixes and Wabuki, they want to clear now. Got the sword off in hand. No Panzer this time around. I try to use the angle. Flash bait.
Love it.
From Wabuki. Well read by Annie, but the second time around it does get to him. He does fall away. That gives them the information at least. Should just be grouping up now. Should be clearing. But that's sort of. You never want to trust it too much.
No. It's going to go for the wide flash. Goes towards FPP. Makes the charge across. Now sees him. Oh, lucky enough. He had reinforcements. Hicks finds any. And yeah, it was a good play. Really good play. Push from them. Loved that he swapped towards the FPP push as well before charging out. And that flash to try and deny the opportunity here. 7 gaming. Bone finds one. Relief. Crashing down for the compound. Everybody is collapsing in and around this center area. No one at the moment is playing outside edge. As a result, with a lot of people coming across and crossing paths. Early deaths going down. Wouldn't be too surprised if Grime picked up that chip and put it in the car as well and says goodbye.
Man's playing in first person, by the way. Just to point that out. Absolute Giga Chad doesn't need the camera. Gotta be careful now about the rest of Belief. I think they silent pulled up that one. They might get themselves a re-knock. Might get themselves into the fight. Slam Gia cruising up. Find the free compound. Nicely situate themselves. If they see more knocks in the kill feed, we will see them fly in.
It's worth just emphasising your point as well. Guys, obviously, when we're watching FPP tournaments, obviously, we can have third parties and we can sit behind and look in. But when we're watching a TPP tournament and the observer's on a player, if they're in, that's the player that switched. It's not the observer that switched, right? So you get to see in live action what the player is opting to do, whether they're opting to play an FPP or a TPP, because they have the opportunity to do both. So let's give you real good insights as to how the players work, and actually not just that push from that shotgun, but even that hold there. Both those players opted to play an FPP compared to the TPP hold.
Skittles are looking. They're lurking. They got one on the early third party. Again, it's slow. This is that stage of the game where you set a few traps. Or you play your spots. And with 52 alive in phase 1, that's pretty much all she wrote. Things can always slow down a little bit. But trust me, they will speed up once that phase 2 comes around.
Yeah, most people are in and around that kind of Ninox test track area. If not, they're on looking, waiting for the explosive action in that kill feed to kick off again. Wider in, no, go next Esports. So one of the teams left on that northeast corner, they're going to work their way in. And obviously BFLs, they're on the south again. Only two teams really that are uncontended at the moment. I believe popping a few shots now towards Slam G. Players need to be cautious though and not kick. Could be punishing for the team. Yes, he has Frenchie close. Yes, he could potentially get there for the res, but Slam G will have the opportunity now to kind of oppress the attack if that's the case.
Slow with a second. The trap has been sprung.
Third.
Oh. Seems to have the flushes as well. One for Sloy jacket. One for Sloy. And Skittles will get themselves a nice point injection. The BFLers will have heard this. Where's it? Still gotta be careful. Still a bit out in the open here. I wouldn't usually be worried, but when it's Hadouken or Hakimari shooting DMRs at you, then you always have to be.
100%. Here comes that zone pop. Let's go back towards the west. It doesn't take the waterfront on the east. Does mean a lot more teams obviously have to get moving without to go in a good position. Now they'll be happy here. And actually Skittles with a wide split. That trap might cause some issues. Their rice fields in the south will kind of force these teams back towards the north. Teams like Slam G, well, they're going to collapse those 2-2 splits. I think they'll be looking for the location here. Where Loy sits, I think that's going to be critical because there's a recall center right in the heart of it.
And most teams would have grouped by now if they were Skittles, but again, the aggression that comes out from these guys is absolutely crazy sometimes. And they will get tested now. Hakimari getting neighbors in the form of 7G. Without Dope, still interested in seeing if they can maybe get those blue chips back, maybe get a revenge kill. Slam G knocking on the corner as well. And there is the first group that comes out. Well done by Hakimari. Comes to his senses. His bluff has been called. He gets back into the compound.
Does find the compound. Everyone finds the shot though in test track. It's all going to come down to these rotations. Dodging the flashing lights of Weewoo. Finds himself back with Go Next Esports. This is a very wide rotation. These guys are pushing down to a southeast corner around by sort of Jaden City and that bridge you can see in the distance. So that is a very, very wide rotation here for phase number 2. 100 ADR, what are the ones that start in the fight at the beginning? They're normally the ones that say that take the third party. They are one of the ones that will fall first.
Hi, Daros. My man. What's going on? Oh, Go Next. That almost cost them 2 vehicles. That would have been devastating. 1 vehicle's bad enough, but that could have been 2. And oh
on
boy.
As well.
Yo, them coming in on the north.
Do you think this is early for a BRDM? We saw a lot of early BRDMs in PNC, but none really successful in the late game. I suppose if Conquest can keep this alive and keep it refueled to a late game, that could have a big impact.
Depends on your position outside. If you can keep it safe, I think it's absolutely worth it. If you get blasted early, you get shot from range by DMRs, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, it's not. But the risk you take, right, or the downside of the BRDM is you got to get out of zone and you got to wait a long time, right? That hurts you much less in the early game because just being sent out in the early game isn't worth as much as late, and the blue zone doesn't hurt as much as late, so maybe the upsides are slightly down, but so are the downsides.
Bit of give and take. Slam G, trying to give and take. Opportunity to crash into 7 gaming at the moment. 20 seconds away though before we do see phase number 3. I do fear we have a lot of bodies up. We have a lot of teams storing. Either for Go Next Esports, part and parcel of that south rotation. Scout gets spotted here by Lyrics and gets denied out. Here we go. Here comes that zone shift. Where do we go? Well, lo and behold, we either go to Bamboo, we stay at Test Track. Well, we stay at Test Track as it bounces back towards a northeast.
That's a big shift. Big shift. For anybody on the eastern side, Win or Die looking fantastic here, but a lot of ways this can still go. There's a lot of open terrain between Winner Chicken Dinner and Skittles here. If we do go to any part of that zone, it doesn't really matter if you came out of Test Track or where you came from, you're going to be caught in the open. Except maybe if you got an armored vehicle, then maybe you're not caught in the open as much as anybody else.
Interesting as well, the open terrain in the middle of this zone has these dips that can play into a BRDM. I think the question for me is, can Conquest get there with it? I'll come into a bit of traffic. One set does pull up here. Conquest, the lose one towards rocks, but that's coming out of the safety. They do get Presenti back, so it's going to give an opportunity maybe to get in the car and get him rolling. It's unfortunately for Believe, that's the end of their rondo. They're going to fall. 13th place for them. Bit of a clash between them and Without Dope.
Ramsey on scout duty. Even easier in third person than it is in first. Here's that car, but doesn't know exactly about Kaido. Man's playing P90 Groza, Mark.
Literally about to say that.
That's a loadout and a half.
Combo. Yeah, that is an aggressive stance. We'll wait and see if he gets it activated. Knowing your luck, you're going to pull a big gun combo like that. You're going to get tapped at distance or to be denied by a Panzer. Well, they found the next team, and it's Beerfellas, so they have got one already. 50 does get one back. For that confirmation, gets a good couple more shots in. Get the opportunity to get the flush just now. As Weewoo, it's an emergency elsewhere. And it seems like they're making the press towards Skittles.
That's what I'm talking about. Akimari looking at you with the DMR is never a good time. Finds the knock, doesn't find the flush just yet, but I wouldn't even be surprised if a Dukin goes looking. Gotta be a little careful. But he doesn't even have to go looking. Dizzy just naded his teammate.
Look at the
That's
kill
not
feed.
a smoke, mate. That's a nade.
He's gone. Win or Die have had everyone leave them, and now they get the freedom just to launch a barrage into the middle of the zone, which unfortunately now for 7G. At least they know what util they're launching forwards. They've got this one pinned down to accuracy. 7G find themselves in a pretty difficult spot now. Winner Chicken Dinner sending their barrage of bullets into the smoke that's now starting to dissipate. It's difficult to underpin that. It's a matter of time. As Beerfellas now get eyes on. They've got to push through both Skittles and Weewoo. Scrap that, Weewoo gone. They've only got to push through Skittles now. We're holding a huge split across these rice fields.
Gonna be a hard push to make. Outnumbered as well. Where is he gonna bike? I fear for him. But where would you ever go? Maybe they don't even have to go anywhere because Go Next is coming their way. Maybe that's the fight you find, but Go Next trying to path through this as well, trying to avoid as much of the fight as they can as they want to go for a position. They might end up in the same dip as Bad Rotation is if they have no info. That might be the send that they're going for, Mark.
It's the only way now, right? There's only a couple of these dips and both of them taken. There's a few ridge lines to play, but it'd be too early. They're going to have a little sneak over the top. They're going to be able to see the line of cars, and they're going to deter away. They're saved by the angles of the camera. Bad Rotation. Come out that cubby hole to try and get a knock. They go back. Skittles are waiting for them. Now Beerfellas can activate. Beerfellas can find that rotation path in as well. Slam G sit on the outside edge as well. Jedrox though does get 7 Gs without dope. Does find a confirmation after they do get the knock on Go Next Esports.
There's another one. Apocalypto's already running for the hills. And he has nowhere to go. He does find the knock at first, but he does get traded out, and just like that, Go Next gone. They really do have to go next. And Hive is making a similar send, similar position. They spot the weakness on 7G here. They might just be able to backfill this for free.
This is painful. It's all outside edge fighting for everyone. Now, a few teams are finding themselves in the middle here. I feel like a win or die. Going to try and control Slam G, control their way in. There's a quick kill. Confirmation. Beerfellas are going to fall. Hive will hear with the gunshots and know the commotion is about to storm over the hill. Slam G don't need to rush it. They've still got 20 seconds left. Here comes the BRDM as it destroys the barrage of Bad Rotation. Take the wide berth angle. Back to safety. You got to remember, it hasn't got as much in it anymore. But he does get himself out of cover.
I'm not sure what I think about this. I'm not sure what the plan was. I'm not sure what the play was. But he gets himself absolutely blasted there. And the rest of Conquest, they had all of the space they could have ever wanted. So what was the idea behind this? I'm not so sure. They've just given up the biggest tool they had in this game. And they might give up Cramsey with it.
Well, they're hoping maybe to blast apart the car fort. Still, I think they're going to put it back together, right? I like good play from Bad Rotation. They got in the car. They know they can't get flattened if they're in the car, right? So now they're able to readjust that fort. So Conquest playing that mid to late game with that BRDM, maybe not to perfection this time around. Without dope, they've been playing it well on the outside edge. They have picked up kills as well. They'll be on looking now to where they want to go. But this is very open terrain now. As I said before, there's a couple of dips and crevices. We've seen a lot of these zones outside the south of test tracks and the Inox factory. So I think it's going to be down to how much util you've got. Those deployable Doritos, I think they're going to be critical as well. But don't burn too much util early. Find your position. Let's try and take the fight.
So much third-party fire coming into these fights. So much farming going on across the map. So annoying for these teams that they just want to carry out their close-range fight. And then they have a winner-winner chicken dinner just sitting in factory. Just pinning them down. Skills want to make their move onto dope. They found the opening knock again. The DMRs do strike. Another drive-by comes out. It's looking good for Skills. He hits a tree, Sloy. But the fade away. He's already on ADS as he connects that last bullet. Everything working for Skills today.
Everything does. The anchor of the car worked into perfection. Die now having to leave the safety of their cover. Wouldn't want a chicken dinner. Still don't need to move just yet. If you play down towards this corner, they are going to play on towards Slam G. Slam G obviously trying to deal with Hive, so be cautious there. Lurix does get Dante, so there's a kill on the board for them. Number 3. They would head to vehicles. They'd know there's teams rotating around behind them. Lurix with the Famas though. Might have the opportunity to stop, but they've got to be careful. And worries me, they've gone both sides of that car. And Jedrox, well, it's a matter of time before he plays peekaboo. He's got the ridge line. Now he goes for the cook of the nade. Slam G, I think, know they're in danger. Now they scrabble their way out the top, though. Jedrox has to retreat. He does. The smoke comes in from the team. That might just be enough. And ahead of my bad. Oh, he refused to let go of the mortar.
That is a close-range mortar from Hello My Bad. That is Probably exactly minimal range. Yeah, 120 meters.
Yes.
You cannot shoot closer than this. You cannot shoot steeper up into the air, but he finds the opening knock. He finds the impact they need to win this fight. The question is, what can they do about it? How can they aggress this? SlamG looking over the shoulder, making this one a lot more tricky than it might have been.
I think they've got to go now, right? They can't really cook the fight with SlamG. It's phase number 6. They get caught maybe in a third party. They extend towards Hive. That could be punishing as well. Even arguing getting out of here is going to be difficult, right? SlamG pops a defensive line of smoke. That's able to give him the ridge line if they want. He's going to double check. He sees Deadrock. He has to throw away that nade. He sees Makar will draw the shots in. It's going to allow Mogor to drive his way forward, though. But the shots will come through. The util dump now happens, though. I've got to be careful. This is scrappy in phase number 6.
Scrappy, and it's taking way too long for these teams. Lurik's now double blue zone. The Jammer Pack won't heal him enough. He's taken down. The Gedrock's well placed on that bit of util. And SlamG haven't made the push in time. Haven't gotten it done in time. Say that. Panzerfaust with his pass, and Gedrock's with a bad jump. Almost gets himself caught. When did I have to leave?
I actually ducked. I'll be honest, I hold my hands up. I ducked. I thought I was going to hit. Schengen. No, he's in a bad spot. Will die. He divides and conquers now. He doesn't know which way to fight. The nades come down. I think it's going to be the end. Hive will take 7th place. 6 teams now remain. 20 players are up. Bad rotation having to take towards the as the car fortification store holds. But the nades coming in from Conquest. A bit of just desserts after they've lost that BRDM. They do try and take the fight. Winner and chicken dinner down bodies as well. And Conquest, well, hoping to be the final team in this north.
Should be cleaning this one up as well. They were looking shaky a bit with the BRDM here, but now they're back to their normal game. And that one's working out. Swing around the smoke from the Lucario. Puts the folded shield back in place. What a tool. In a game like this, in a circle like this, you love to have it. And they got all the angles they could ever need.
It's going to all come down to those little bits of play. It's going to be critical at the end. Conquest there, the smoke is dissipating, and unfortunately, the whack-a-mole has finished. Bad rotation, we've got to fall in 6th place. Conquest going to work their way forward. Winner, chicken dinner, final player for them as they got freedom and safety. But when they lost the buildings, they lost the cover, and they lost the opportunity as they fall into 5th. Top 4 teams now. We enter into the placement point. And actually, Conquest with 4 and Skittles with 4. They've got the numbers to try and win because win or die. SlamG. Still got caught running out. That is a great Modi. Laosh on fire, running to safety, trying to stay alive.
Barely does so, but he's still got SlamG to deal with. Conquest on the other side are going to meet their first real opposition this game. They're going to meet Skittles. Zartix falls to the play zone. He takes Laosh from the grave, and just like that, down to a 4v2. The circle could have not been less even. But I gotta say, Conquest looking alive in this one, but Skittles looking alive every game today.
Oof. I was had to sit down quickly before he got sat down. Good play from him. Skittles looking good though. Day number 2. Getting that level of consistency we spoke about in that pre-show, right? That's what we needed from them. So just a Miramar 1 and done. See if they can get their conversion. Conquest though, after mixing the records on the dead boxes, he finds himself with a record of a P90. I'm just trying to find the bodies. Slowly Jacket goes back around. Kamari using the smoke to his advantage. And the car goes through the middle. He's got to be cautious. He's trying to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer a P90. It's something you can't quite do, but they do stack up and go. They put it down. It's 3 versus 3. Scrap that. It's a 3 versus 2 in the favor of Skittles.
Trades are good. The distraction's good enough. It's slow you out, but again, trades are there. Still not sure if this is overall favored, but 3v2 makes it a whole lot easier. That is a res that can come through onto Kramzy. As a Dukin is unable to move, unable to do a whole lot. Now, surely, with that move down the hill, gets himself out of the high ground, gets himself to a good rock. The links can have an effect now. And that should be a game changer for Skittles.
Conquest had a good game. 12 kills for them, 12 kills for the Skittles. So even a match. Both been farming. Kamara gets one. And Nade comes back over and puts him down. 2 versus 1 now. Ridgeline, I think it's critical. I don't want to waste too much of the links. Zadukan has a huge amount of difference. It's going to be clean. Does get the knock as well. Puts it to a 1 versus 1. Dukan, does the links have the bigger impact? Is it going to have an explosive ending? He's only got 4 shots here, Kowo.
He's got 4, but FaZe Ace is about to come in. It should center up. It should push Mounty closer towards him. And then it's all going to come down to who can stay in cover the longest here, I believe.
Yep.
There you go, Mounty. He's got nothing left in his whole ridgeline. All he's got left is that one E-bus. But where do you even take it? Where do you even want to play in this? You peek over the top, the Lynx is going to spot you, the Lynx is going to take you out. If you get into that car, I don't fancy your chances a whole lot either. I don't know where he's going to go with it. I don't know what he can do.
He's not lining the shot up though, right? So does he play in towards kind of the scrapyard of cars? Does he come to the ridge on the other side? At the moment, he's going to just try and pause and get some more time. Just to figure out exactly where he's going to go. Hadouken, you can just wait. He's not going to finish him just yet. It's all down to Monty though, isn't it? It's all down to where he wants to play. As you can see, he's now trying to scout where his next position is. If he gets to the middle of the zone, that could be crucial.
Smokes come out. Hadouken's got to sit. Gonna get that Lynx out whenever he has the chance. Good connect one. He only needs one. It does the damage. Now the blue zone and then the nade. Love to see it. Well done so far. It's a perfect bounce. It's going to push Mounty away from the rock and the nade follow it up. It can.
Hadouken!
Play
Love
a
it.
book. Just easily the cleanest execution you could have had there. 14 frags for Skittles.
Well, you needed the links to have an impact. It did on the rotation in. But yeah, textbook, great blue zone. And if you only got the one, you've got to follow up the rest of the util. He's able to get it one and done here. Lots of early chaos, lots of early action. But it was kind of a textbook ending, though. In and around Test Trek and Ninox Factory. Very open terrain. And it came down to those little moves and a little plays. And the links in hand to close it out.
Love to see it. Love to see the blue zone before the nade as well. It's just the perfect combination. But in the end, he has more resources and he has the circle. A good game from Conquest regardless. This one, bit of a head scratcher. Bit of a head scratcher, but they do pull it back. They do consolidate.
More a Hollywood moment. Maybe he thought he was going to hit the car and it was going to fully explode and fireworks going to come out. But it wasn't going to get. He just pushed out of the way and he had the opportunity to move it back. Good game. Definitely a more tactical ending, I felt. A lot of chaos at the beginning, but it came down to kind of who was fighting, what train they could conquer at the end. But big kills, not just for the Conquest, but for Skittles. Skittles started day number 2 strong, so looking to close this one out. They're going to be contending now for the top spot. Just worry. The one word that fears when it comes down to Skittles for me, Kowo, and that's consistency. It's definitely stronger today.
Now this has been their day. This has been, I think, their tournament. I don't think we've ever seen them on this level. We've seen them in player cups doing well every now and then, doing well for one day in player cups especially. But this has been solid. This has been really solid. I do fear for them because of the sheer aggression that they always put out. They might not be able to keep it up. But so far, beautiful stuff from them.
Well, they put out sheer level of aggression. We're going to put out a sheer break for you guys. Get opportunity to get some water, get locked in. Popcorn's going to be needed, though. It's the final game. It's going to be a wrangle.
a collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group ESPA. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have ESPA visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with ESPA. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks, levels, and ability. Here's how it works in EMEA and Americas. PUBG Players Tour competition is held in 2-week phases. Each week, you and your squad can compete in player scrim.
3 games done in the blink of an eye, and we find ourselves, though, in the 4th and final game here for day number 2. They still have 4 games left tomorrow, but yesterday this one was explosive. Lots of action. We're going to get straight into it, though, Kawhi. What do you expect with Wrangle coming up?
More of the same. More of the top dogs dominating. I feel like we've seen really solid performances today from Slam G, Win or Die. Hive kind of holding on, but not dominating. And then the Skittles, obviously, running away with the show a bit here towards the end. Observer again. Cooking. Not going for any easy hours. Is it going to go through the warehouse? Yeah. Okay. Where's the plane? Where's the plane?
He's missed it. This is path 2. This is path 2. Let's go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Came for it again. He went for the safety in the second, and he was expected to come out there and see that plane ahead, but it wasn't. 3 out of 4, cooked again. But he's not cooking on gas in the final one.
And there's a little evil part of me like that wanted to see yeah, go through the warehouse, go through the second warehouse as well, just to see if he would miss it, and he did. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
We blame you then.
It is what it is. Yeah, you gotta challenge people a bit, you know. You gotta give people things, reasons to grow in this game.
You make it sound like he's on work experience. One observer's doing bits. He's doing well. He's doing well. Play buff, though, for match number 8, though, is a east across towards the west. Pretty fair, actually, going through the heart, the soul, the grassy pastures. That is a wrangle. But I do worry because match number 4, or match number 8 in this case, for us, is always a very aggressive. Play path goes down towards that southwest. And lucky enough for Slam G and 100 ADR, they're parachuting this way. But 100 ADR get to the ground first.
Get to the ground first, but get 3 men into God Compound. That's not really what you want to do. Not really what you want to have. On the other side of things, around that hospital area, looking a little sus. Hixes connects 1. Gets Lyrics to be a little scared at least. But he should be able to just walk into safety.
He should be able to get to safety. Safety might need to come from the hospital here. I feel like Wee Woo miss a drop here. They should drop here at hospital. I just think it'd be fitting more for their name. Conquest. They are the Conquerors. 7G, very split. Now, that can be a massive advantage, or the other way, not the case. It's going to be down to Conquest. If they can kind of isolate individuals here, that works for them. But they also have a solo out on the west.
Yeah, this is awkward. While other teams are picking the best compounds in the circle already, Hive comes to mind. You're stuck here. Not sure where to go after looting. Not sure if somebody's walking up on you. If you've ever had the pressure of looting next to win or die, you know that they like to get sneaky. Levante loves running up on things. 7G is probably expecting an enemy on that water tower hill very soon. Not a very comfortable looting experience.
No, North George is where they are. I think more and more confident win or die gets, the quicker they start to push. Slam G, they find themselves now in the compound, in the heart of the zone as well, actually, in and around Quarry. Not had a Quarry ending for a while. Good to see. Winner chicken dinner, chasing down Wee Woo. They're on emergency back out, and obviously might be baiting their way in. Vlad, though, interesting, take some damage. He was like, we're on the same team, mate. I'm the one that's trying to help you get to safety. But he has to take the opportunity now to med as the rest of the winner chicken dinner don't follow the same path and in.
SMG on the other side. Panzerfaust on this one. Alpaca with an aggressive breach. That southern building closes the gap immediately. And Vlad Crumble Cookie is going to be the one to do it all. Is he going to go for the risky Panzer here? He's going to go for the ambitious one. I love to see it. That's the roof, buddy. That's not where he wanted that to go.
Yeah, that ended differently in his head, didn't it? The car's rotating their way around. I think winner chicken dinner now knowing that the rotation path through the building has been closed. And there's more than just the one that they were chasing down without any guns. Has friends. So maybe fake away, but it's not really the case. Actually do turn around. They want to take the fight. The rest of the guys now free in the building. Vlad's the final player. He's by himself. Level 1 helmet. That's going to be painful if he gets a connection.
Slows the fight down a bit. Winner chicken dinner have made a lot of progress. On that northern wall, however. Across into the warehouse now. Gonna be hard for Wee Woo. The Cookie Monster might have to deal with this 1v2 by himself.
He's got the ammo. It's just he can't take the headshot, right? So, takes his time. Just waiting for the peak. He has reinforcements now. X-Hype is there. Nades at the ready. Just waiting for a bit more of a sound cue, but we don't want a chicken dinner. Gotten a bit more quiet. As Lock, well, G4 belief. They get the knock. Now here comes the cook. Launch goes down. Hypex sends it way out into the field.
Util's not been on point. If you count the Panzerfaust's util. Oh, the angles. The Korean peaks have been good for winner chicken dinner. X-Hype. That nade would have been amazing if it ever made it out of the building. But if they have a good idea about Hope for Waifu, you could literally blow him up through the wall. You don't even have to wait for him to peak.
This one's going to South Pachinki Watch. We're going to send it. He's going to peek. It's going to go. Level 3 vest. Lads trying to get that elevation as he uses the smoke to cross over. Got the trees covered, but he has been spotted. Has to be careful. Looking back. Takes some damage as well. Store holding that Panzer. Here comes the Molly. Before she doesn't catch it. I thought he was going to catch the boxes there. Hits the car, but again, it's just going to be out of reach. They need to get it into that corner if they want it to have an impact.
Oh, like, my fingers are itching. I just want to see him blast the wall and get the knock on Hope for Waifu. Not even on full HP. It's doable. It's possible. And he knows that he's there. But he just doesn't trust himself through the wall for some reason. He wants to land the Panzerfaust on a peeking player. And all this delay has now led to another team coming to the party.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's going to be about time, isn't it, right? So, they've worked their way down. They're on a 2-2 split. So they're holding teams rotating their way around. That's Belief and Lock fighting a bit out towards that east. The other two, though, working their way down here. Shocks. Skinner will be waiting. It's very easy to take the third party. Catch CT, especially if they get caught running around the building. But this is that fight on that east I'm talking about. Belief have lost one already. To the point he said no more. And Lock, well, they can continue rotating their way towards that South Pachinki Hill. As it will leave Belief just on the outside. But not much more else to play.
Fight finally kicks off on the compound now. Nox traded out, skinning. Doing the damage, bringing the pain. Just like that, Dizzy. Again, left to his own devices. On the warehouse side of the compound, the team's going to try to get the res onto X-Hype. And there's a fourth party.
Read the kill
in
feed.
Hive. And Dizzy doesn't trust himself again.
He's unsure of that Panzer. He just want to send
But he hears the shots impacting, surely.
Yeah, I just would have read the kill feed and confirmed. Lock take a tumble here. Is he still unsure? Still holding, still waiting. He's not been called to service. He hasn't had the dispatch yet. Another fight comes on. Shotgun crosses its way over. X-Hype, don't know if he's seen that. He's not heard it. He's seen the rotation from behind. He's got the shotgun himself. There's one. Looking for the second, though. Is he still in the compound, still waiting? Maybe that was his Panzer eventually arriving from Narnia. And X-Hype doing the work. He's the final body remaining.
Final player standing. Team has crumbled. Swag on me with the pre-fire. Except trying to work the angles. Getting info from his knocked teammate, but not for long. Now he comes out, swings with the Saiga, but he's out of bullets.
He's out. That could have been good.
Man.
That could have been good. That's 12. That packs a punch, right? And like at that distance, shotguns on shotguns. I definitely know which one I'd rather. Back towards some of the action now. Skittles have worked their way in. Sloy. On looking. Lock. We saw one of them jump out the car and unfortunately fall. Now it's more dancing on ice. As he skid his way out. Hiru, that car's done. The car he has to get away from. He's down to a one shot. Now his cover. Well, it's no more. But lucky enough for Belief, that's happened. That's a big shift. Shift goes back down to a southeast. And we hold on to huge amounts of water as we say goodbye. And we won't lock in lock.
What a shift. What a crazy shift. It doesn't really go further south anymore. I don't think it can. Theoretically, there's maybe a 5% chance this goes south. But even with this shift, suddenly the compound that Winner Winner Chicken Dinner is now in. And now finally, uncontestedly in. Best spot in the circle. Dope in a great spot in the gas station. Go next. Make a good rotate across the bridge. Even the EP from Belief here could work wonders for them. Game's completely shifted, completely flipped on its head.
That's the problem. This is the problem. What team's thinking it might be going towards that quarry. That position not going to help him now. I think this now ensues chaos. This is kind of that, well, kills matter more. So let's try and get as much as we can here for the final game for day number 2 of 3. Arctics. Just trying to wait. That little side build, that little side shack is not going to help too much. Going to pop the smoke. It's going to give him the opportunity to potentially rotate his way around, but more importantly, keep his back covered if and when he wants to try and make the peak. He's waiting for that breach, though, from Fairy Tale to cross over to take the fight.
Up from far is going to do the damage. Another third party. Brightside finds one, though. Sits Lurex back down. As has been the topic for SlamG almost every game. Really struggling at the moment. But Arctic's in a good spot to catch any crosses. Cut off any support. Oh, if that nade roll a few centimeters further. Almost catching the knock, but Winner Die is here. And again, they're so aggressive.
Winner Die on the top of the table, don't they? I think 2 kills. I can see the commotion. They see the bodies running out, nearly coming his way. Oh, that blue zone. Be good. He's got 3 of them as well. So a nade, follow that with blue zones. Maybe a pan in there as well. Throw the kitchen sink. It's going for all 3. That's going to force him out towards the other side. Lyrics has to find his way back towards Mogor. Now he has the opportunity to get back to safety. But Levante finds Lyrics.
Finds one, gets put down in the process. SlamG can't react on this. They can't group on this. They're worse for wear. Mogor has to do it all. Gets caught in the back. GG. SlamG battered. Hello, my bad. Goes for the run. Goes for the flush. They are out for blood today. That win or die squad. Running it down for any kill they can find. And Presenti finds Arctics. Pre-fire working out nicely. It's an absolute mess in this compound.
This is part and parcel of that zone shift away. But great read, though, from Win or Die. Knowing the knock could come through. Knowing the person that was in the building in front. Now he can go exchange to red. Bright side launches a nade forward. Conquest now getting involved as well as they do the damage. Only 51. Doesn't get the full conversion. SlamG will fall. Hive present the beehive and evicts them out. But it is chaos. And now another team enters. 180 art. Follow the same rotation here from Win or Die. Maybe some medicine will unfold on towards Levante.
They're not stopping. They don't care. They're running everything down. Double blue zone. Cuts out most of the angles. April finds a little corner to hide himself in. But now they're going to take... Oh my. He's got a few bodies in there, doesn't he? They're going to take that 3v1. They know about Brightside. And they know they can hunt his teammate. Well,
here we go. 180 R.
Case of their own medicine, huh?
Yeah, it's arriving. It's opium sack kid medicine that's come in. They've gone for the full breach as well. And my bad has to draw attention back. Now they know they're in the middle of a pretty dangerous location. Fairy Tale got the split. 180 R, not far. For those that don't know, the zone shift has shifted again towards that east. So we are on that western bridge. We still have huge amounts of water, but it doesn't matter. Win or Die looking to try and clear more bodies to clear space for them in late game. And there comes the blue zone nade into effect. April Fools. Fairy Tale down to 1.
Circle has gone straight onto the bridge, straight onto the gas station. Tons of water still in play. It's going to center up exactly between Winner Chicken Dinner and Go Next. Right side, going to try and delay for as long as he can. He's going to try and do as much as he can. Layers realizing, hey, there's a 7th party
and the rest
getting involved in this one. So he's going to have to smoke out his path, take his time, and then go clear Brightside.
It's worth noting as well, 180 R we saw took out a lot of the tyres before leaving. So they've now left and come away from this hillside. They didn't push in like we saw from that Win or Die. I think part and parcel of that is the zone and the time, right? But before they left, they ensured there was no other options for the guys, and you know they're going to be running on foot, so I'm not be too surprised. Oh, Brightside with the Dragunov headshot. Lash goes down. They opt to go for the res. It's phase 3. They can get away with it. Brightside has an opportunity to get running.
Yeah, but run where to? If he doesn't find Hello My Bad with another one of these Dragunov headshots, then what can he really do? Oh, I see what he can do. He can loot another 15 first aids, maybe. He finds enough buddies, but doesn't look like he does. 6 is all she wrote for him. Finds a fresh jammer pack at least. He's going to delay a whole lot here for Win or Die. I'll probably not get into any placement himself. And oh, there's a big pull-up. There's a big spray. There's no support immediately, Mark, but they could still clean this up. Oh, God, the beer fellas, though.
Beer fellas getting involved. They're activating as well. Dukin got a knock. Presenti, well, he gets again presented with more bodies coming his way. Received a knock. Gotta be cautious. Conquest looking to try and conquest their way in. He's been caught in the open. Presenti launches some more shots. Doesn't get the connection, but Monty does. But Rox is here. He does get the support. But this is going to be the next target, shortly for Win or Die. Belief go down. Util gets dumped out. Rox got the level 3 gear. Grozer in hand. He's the last hope, though, for Rox. But he gets a knock on Win or Die.
What an absolute man in that position right there. Knocks one, switches over to the DMR, puts another one down. Could even get the res here if things go well, but the cross down into the dip is going to be tricky.
Whoa.
Not with shots like that, though. Winner Die are getting absolutely one-manned here.
It's insane. They thought they could run on this completely for free. Conquest like, it's all right, guys. You keep fighting. We'll get the res in. We'll go for the reset. Fox be looking to try and do the same, but you know he can't. Just be smoke. So now he needs to get that one up. Next Esports do get involved as well. Skittles, after getting a knock on that rotation in from 100 ADR, they follow now that pathing in. Do they have any idea there is a body in the smoke? According to body language, not yet.
Doesn't feel like it. Good tick. Smoke's been faded.
Oh my god.
Akimari's coming in. You gotta step up now, but he doesn't even connect the first. The UMP, it does not deliver. And I think the mouse 1 button gets stuck a little bit there. Poor Skittles after that one. Winner, chicken dinner. They want to walk up, but they didn't find the time. They would have loved a knock or 2 here to come over sweeping. But the UMP does not deliver.
9 kills though for them. 7 kills for Win or Die. They opt not to go towards the grocer as they go round. Now the little bowl they can sort of play here, which would be good. We'll have to wait and see. As Hive still hold on. 5 kills down to a 2. But that Grocer's had an impact already. See if we can have more.
Not I come back for a round 2, eh? 35 seconds till zone pop. Everybody's sitting pretty for now. The tensions are rising. We're next starting to flex out of the compound as well. Just making themselves ready for the third party whenever it comes around. You gotta worry though. With bad rotation, I was about to say, Paidaros, he's gonna have a hard time getting out of that shack. He even gets blasted before he starts making the play.
Dukem puts another one down. Sloy. 8 kills now on the board for Skittles. A bit further in. Sloy jacket. Just going to try and wait. There's just more bodies here. Zone shifts away. We now give up the water. Open drain really again. I like go next. They're going to go for that res, but they're going to try now hold up these teams. Got a little bit of a ridge line. Bad rotation. Oh, going to punish this though. I can't see there's vehicles remaining.
No, Max!
Go round.
Oh. Not again.
Box.
Go next losing to railings and then losing to cars and cardboard boxes.
It's the details that matter, Ko. It's the details that matter.
Oh. Tragedy.
Well, might be a tragedy for them. They're still alive. And they are in zone. The rest of these teams, unfortunately, now got to move. 7 teams, 20 bodies remain in the battlegrounds. Hive going to try and hold out the angle. Conquest again. Not quite conquest the hill first time. I think they're hoping Win or Die might try and take the fight and they can take the third party. If you're going to plant a C4, why not reskin the car? Because if you're going out in style.
Where are you going with this?
Go for it. Full send.
What?
This one. If he got Leos as well, that would have been great. Here comes the reinforcements. I'm taking full advantage. Doesn't quite get the connection. It's one and done. Levante says good night, and I'll get the res. Thank you very much.
Oh boy. I mean, he gets he runs him over and then doesn't get the flush because he's still in that invulnerability period.
Thinks no way.
But I guess, you know, this is one way to find an impact. Sure. Just run the man down. Conquest, time is ticking for them. Malcario caught on the push, but oh, he dogs Shane completely. He puts him down.
Put him down. Let's see if Rox can deliver. He's got the angle. I think he's going to be a little bit PUBG'd when he tries to swing out that left side. He wants to go up and over the top. He has to cover, has the high ground if he wants to. Win or Die going to come here. Grenade to perfection. Oh, it just bounces past. The wooden beam sends goodbye. They can see though, win or die coming in close. Rox has no idea. He takes some shots. Now he goes for a spin though. Levante will get the confirmation as they will take to the trenches. Conquest also here though. They're going to try and take the fight. As Hell of My Bad will fall.
Everyone's dying. Everyone that is involved is dying. Antlers gets a big double onto Win or Die, who can't decide if they want to take the fight or get to zone. But it is Go Next who picks up the last few bids and bobs. 4 for Skittles, 4 for Bad Rotation, 3 for Go Next. And I'll say the same thing I said last time. Skittles looking too good today. They gotta be favorites in this.
Yeah, they have to be, right? They have to be. They did fall short, and I think that was a shock to everyone watching. But now they've got the zone cleared. The Petra Garage. Now they've got to clear 2 more teams. It's 3 teams remain. Bad Rotation with a 4. Skills with 4. Go Next though down to a 3. Thanks to the PUBG terrain of a box.
Mindset's on a good flank. Gonna get himself a good angle. Sly will not have any idea at the moment. But the longer this takes, the more they're gonna have an idea. Because the more possibilities do get ruled out by the blue zone coming in. You could see Hadouken already had an idea. He already had an inkling. Something could be happening on that southern side. Sayu walks up. Kaidal is still looking at drops while his team's fighting. Not able to get himself involved in this one. There's Sloy. Finding himself the angle. Finding himself the knock.
Let's get the knock. And set. Trying to find his way into the zone. Difficult though, coming from the beach. Not much in the way of cover. I think Sloy would just ensure they can't get the res, right? There's a ridge, maybe crawl his way around, but I think at this point, there's that little open gap, that little valley. Should catch the player crawling, so just no hold. Skittles delay, which is the right thing to do. Every fight they've taken, it seems to be fireworks for Team Skittles so far, and they're at the control. They now control that they've got the numbers. Might be taking it to a 4 versus 3 versus 3.
Playing with Fire Max. Idol's got his number. But again, once this zone locks in, there is just no space left. There is no space left for Bad Rotation at all. And I think I have a very quick demise when that happens. Max.
Yeah, I baited it.
He's just getting some pull-ups in. Just working the lats a bit, Kadal. Don't get too excited. Now Kadal himself. Yep. Gotta make the run. Gotta get somewhere playable. Knocked in, flushed. Bad Rotation are out of the circle. Skittles are dominating.
100%. One thing's for sure. Team Skittles doesn't go quietly, do they? When they're in the lobby, you know about it. Now they're in the zone, making sure everyone else knows about it. Hadouken driving forward, 11 kills. Oh, 1 short from the 12. He gets caught in the open. Has to go towards the util. Bad Rotation. Trying to stop any of this Persian. Hadouken. Well, he put the nade down. And Bad Rotation down to the final body.
Sloy smells him on the rock. But he doesn't even need to. The rest of the squad has already taken it out. 13 for Skittles. Looking to make that 15 here. Once Go Next makes them move out of the compound. If they do, Sloy Jacket has other plans. Let's see. Is it a Marselik type situation? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a massive success. An explosive one, you would say.
I'd say more the case that Skittles seems to be painting the battlegrounds with a sweet retreat victory.
Brother.
But no! It's been turned
What
away.
is that?
It's more for show and tell. The nade goes off. The C4 goes down. Hadouken will find Max. and they want to do it the hard way. Final player now for them. Codex Esports looking to use the ankles to their advantage, though. Got the train, got the wall. Now goes for the peak dome. Gets Lloyd down to one shot. He holds it, but he doesn't go for the repeak.
Oh, he's looking to do whatever he can, but it won't be enough. Here, Sloy Jacket running it down. 5 HP on Sloy. He's got a nade in hand. That's another knock, but now the nades are surely coming in. And it's a beautiful bounce. It's Skittles with a 15-kill win. No problem at all. Another 20 points for them. They don't know how to use a C4, but they do know how to win games, Mark.
That's it, though. Skittles 15 kills, 5 points for the placement, a 20 point. It has been a sweet, sweet victory, though. And even a day for Team Skittles. They have painted the battlegrounds with all wonderful colours, but it does mean they have been rocking out and the top of the leaderboard. Yes, they might not have the C4 countdown. They might be doing the C4 select style of play. Might have been the car, but it has been a good day. Day number 2 did not disappoint. Sometimes we get a bit more of a quieter day, Ko, but yes, I know Skittles have been out there performing, but a lot of teams have been putting big numbers on the belt.
Yeah, it's just massive performances. Every win is a huge one, it feels like. And most of the wins, then we have other teams that are getting closer to those double-digit kills, right? Which is also just massive amount of points going your way. So an interesting day 2. An interesting day 2 leading us into a run for Skittles tomorrow where everybody's going to be gunning for them because they will be the team to catch.
Yeah, they will be the team to catch. Felt like it could have been Slam G today, but it wasn't the case. They definitely went back, reviewed how day 1 performance was, weren't happy with it. It's shaken it up. And then it was a good drive, even from the offset, though. I know we only have 4 matches, but there's been some other opportunities, though, for some other teams. And I feel like 7G, they took full advantage, especially early on. Yes, they haven't really got the placements yet, Ko, like we expected a performance, but most of their games have been putting big numbers under the belt when it comes down to kills.
Yeah. This is the start of the day for Skittles. An absolutely unwinnable win. Actually, a game they should have never taken away. Sloy clutches it out in the end. And then we go to a Tego. That's just massive aggression from pretty much everybody in phase 1. Until we go to the forests. And it becomes real scrappy.
Yeah, that repeak. That is insane. Kamari goes down after, but that was a good repeak from him. There's a C4 that was successul.
Perfect
Play.
C4 that one.
Time-wise for win or die,
yeah.
and the ability you can't get away from it. Wow.
But the thing is, if he uses that C4 and he doesn't delay as much, and the player has 3 to 4 seconds to get out of the shack, maybe he still dies, but somebody else gets the kill. Maybe he stays alive and becomes a problem for your team. So the timing matters so much, right? You gotta have it down, and it's a surprising number of players that still do not have it down at all.
No. I think part and parcel of being early, right? And what's really interesting for me is the teams and the players that play casual have had a lot more time to practice the C4 and the timer, right? When we look at the competitive play, this is brand new to us, and some people just don't play casual, right? So they've just not had that fun to... Now they've got to learn it the hard way, under the element of pressure. Some people are learning a lot quicker compared to others. It's a good put up. And others, unfortunately, fall a little bit short when it comes down to the timing.
Yeah. I'm always the last to criticize players. It's very easy to sit in our armchairs here at home and tell the players what they should have done or what we think they could have done, but it's just surprising to me. You look at Skittles, right? They are the scariest team to fight in the server today. They are absolutely insane. But then the guy doesn't know he has to hold W for the car to keep rolling. Like, it just doesn't match up for me. It's just confusing to me because they are so insane in so many other aspects of the game.
It just thought he jumped out and it rolled downhill. It was gravity that was going to take it to the end, but no, it wasn't going to be the case. I love that. It just spins out. So it's like, it wasn't me. I'm out.
Yeah, it's like you've seen your friends do drive-bys and you want to try it too, but nobody told you that you have to keep holding W and you just spin out and look silly.
He will tell everyone that he hit a rock, and we will say the same. Anyway, leaderboard though, go out after day number 2. Skittles, with no surprise, are top of the pops. But win or die, chasing behind. But there's a bit of a gap there between them and Skittles. SlamG fall to third. Conquest do well today, and Hive, Godex Esports will also fall down that leaderboard.
Big gap now. Big gap now for Skittles. Last 2 games done wonders for them. Keep in mind, this is point format with half of the placement points. So a 24-point gap is a little bigger than what you would expect. It's a little bit bigger than what you're used to. And everybody else here, Winner Die, SlamG, Conquest, looking really good for second place, but looking like they need a big, big day tomorrow if they want to come back first. Yeah,
it's going to be about tomorrow. We do have 4 games, though, up for grabs tomorrow. So, see, there is an opportunity for these teams to try and catch up. Remember, Skittles have driven that leaderboard, and obviously we are looking for a top 8. So if you get yourself in the top 8, that's where you're going to be in for the prize pool. Obviously, this is the end of the circuit, so this is maxing out the opportunity to get cash money in your back pocket, Koa.
Yeah. Last day tomorrow, last third of the tournament tomorrow. We're going to have 4 more games. And going to have 4 more games with the beautiful Felix, Mark. He's coming in tomorrow. I'm away. I am not available tomorrow, so we get to switch it up a bit, bring a bit of fresh air in.
Yeah. Felix will be here. Be disappointed to miss you. I've been taking the plays down, and that you need to hold the W key to ensure that you find your way into a victory. But yes, you are stepping out. FedEx will be stepping in tomorrow when all the dust has settled. It has been Skittles that have been shining. Everything, though, when it comes down to day number 2. Will they be able to hold on? Well, we're going to go for the opportunity to have a break. When we come back, it'll be the Americas. And more importantly, tomorrow, same time, same place, it'll be me and FedEx taking out the final 4 games.